Blazin' Hit Radio.
Now with more
us.
They're just really funny.
Better music.
Less commercials.
More Larry and Kathie.
So I just attempted to make oatmeal in the microwave, and I did that thing where you leave it in too long, so I lost half of it to the microwave.
What do you mean?
You know, it overflowed.
Oh, dang. So I'd leave it in too long where it gets just too thick.
Right. I like thick.
Oh, you've lost it.
I know. Whatever.
Well, now you're having half oatmeal.
You have something on your chin.
It's probably oatmeal.
Oh.
It is oatmeal.
Happy Wednesday, everybody.
Happy Wednesday. It's freezing. Wow, look at that text. I'm freezing my butt off in Kentucky. It's currently 4 degrees.
Yeah, it's cold everywhere.
Yesterday it was -5.
Well, Chris and Kayla have been flying all over, and every time that I talk to Chris, he's like, it's freezing here.
Totally.
Wherever he goes.
Right.
So you got Kayla home yesterday.
Yay.
She was supposed to be home on New Year's Eve. And when you're a flight attendant, like, and you're kind of like not on the set schedule list or whatever, they can use you at will.
Totally.
So some days you may have like 6 days off in a row.
Yeah.
But then the next time they use you, they're like, well, we're going to use you for 2 days. Make that 3. Oh, sorry, 4.
Okay.
You know what I mean?
gotta
So that
be
can
ready
happen.
for it.
Right, exactly. So,
Still better than this job sometimes.
Yeah, right.
I'd be willing to fly across and not wake up at 5 a.m. every day or 4 a.m. or whatever.
But doesn't she still have to wake up early because you got to
Like
catch that early flight
one
out?
time a week.
No?
Yeah, it's like one time a week, if that. It's
Well, then
not
that's
like
nice.
Yeah, it's not like every
She
day.
takes noon flights.
Yeah.
I want to take a noon
I want to
flight.
take a noon flight.
No.
Go walk around and eat somewhere.
Exactly.
I
Have
would
some
be
breakfast.
I'd be fired because it's like, the flight attendant is sleeping in the back. I'd be all,
Yeah, you
what?
would.
Who
You would.
said that?
It's not my fault. I get very sleepy when we take off.
Right. And then the pilots would come on board and they're like, oh, there's Mr. Hansy.
Oh, you?
Yeah.
Wow. Okay.
No,
you know
the
what?
pilots are more of the
handsy?
harassers. Yeah.
All right.
Oh, yeah. Especially with your wife, who's pretty hot. Well, can't she turn around and go, I'm expecting
I'm
you,
in a delicate state.
you pig.
I don't know.
Oh,
yeah, they
that's
don't
what I would
care.
do.
They're like, we don't care.
Yeah, they
Right,
don't-
you're
they
still
don't
hot.
care.
You're
Yeah.
still hotter than most women who aren't pregnant.
Some people, that's like their fetish, like pregnant lady fetishes.
Oh, no, there's that.
Right. There's even lactation fetishes.
Oh, no, there's
There's small people fetishes. I refuse to. I've never Googled that, small people porn, but I know it exists. I just never
Is
seen
it little people porn?
Yeah, I've
Okay.
never
We talked
seen
about this
Yeah.
multiple times.
I remember one time when I was pregnant, this guy held the door open for me at 7-Eleven, and it was weird because I was just getting out of the car.
Okay.
So I was
so
like-
he was really going to wait for you.
Right. So he was really holding the door, and I was like, okay, this is a little weird, but that's cool.
Were you
know?
pregnant? I look out for people.
And I was really pregnant at the time, and I said thank you and stuff, and I was all happy because I was going in to get a Slurpee.
You're all-
The guy's holding the door for me. Yeah, totally. And he touched my stomach as I went by.
Oh, that's not cool.
Like, he waited to touch my stomach, and
so
I was
he was like, yeah,
that's what I got
weird.
out of that.
Pre-child molester. What is that
Hey,
about?
tell Kayla to get ready for it.
God.
People are now going to tell her everything they want about her appearance. Remember, some lady was like, wow, Kathie, your nose is getting bigger. I was like, none of your business.
Yeah.
How does your nose get bigger unless you tell a bunch of lies?
Everything's.
No, it literally
Everything
sometimes.
She thought your nose
everything-
was getting, like, your nose is gaining weight. Oh, yes.
No, for real.
For
Like,
real?
some women can.
You're all, I
like,
can't even get my finger in my nostril anymore. It's just too
it's
much
that
fat.
chubby.
Yeah,
I hope
but
that's
like,
not what she meant.
I remember you were saying that people think that they're at liberty to just be able to touch you just because you're pregnant.
Totally.
Right? It's a boundary issue.
Oh, it's so cute. And then all of a sudden they're touching you. It's like, it's still my
No, thank
skin.
you.
my
Right, you wouldn't
body.
go up to a
No,
regular
thank you.
stranger and just touch their stomach.
Oh, yay. Right.
Right.
So,
Yeah.
Good
Good
Yeah.
luck, Wiggins.
Yeah.
Boundary issues.
yeah, totally. Wiggins will be like, don't touch my wife.
Right.
As long
No,
as they don't touch me.
No, they're going to be like, he's going to be like, don't touch my wife. And they're like, that's your wife?
Yeah.
It's kind of like when Jay on Modern Family, you know, the older guy is
Yes.
with Sofia Vergara. So everybody's like, that's your
That's
wife?
your wife?
And he's like, yes.
Yes. Way to go.
Yeah.
I love Ed O'Neill.
I guess that's it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, you're not Ed O'Neill.
No,
You're
not
way
yet.
cuter than Ed
I mean,
O'Neill.
give yourself 50 years.
Yeah, then we'll see.
and then you'll
what
have a
happens.
different Kayla, like a younger Kayla.
No.
'Cause
I'll
she
get
left-
changed in for a different model.
Right,
not
I know.
her.
So
You
you'll be
will
with
not.
the younger Kayla
Yeah.
eventually. I'm just kidding.
No, he said he'd get changed.
No,
Kayla
I
would be
said
with
so.
the younger
Therefore, he
Wiggins.
would be having to get a younger
I don't-
Kayla.
It was hard enough getting Kayla. I don't see myself being old and getting someone hot.
Unless if you're super successful like Jay on Modern Family.
Exactly.
He
So
owns
make the money.
closets.
Yeah. All right.
Oh, Purchase Closets. They're at competitors' closets.
You've really caught up on your Modern Families.
I watch them religiously.
I don't even know what you're referring
There's
to.
there's some nights that like they have on Friday on some channel where they just play all night Modern Family. So I record all of those.
Why don't you just like watch them on Hulu?
Because he
I don't
doesn't.
have Hulu.
Well, then you just are like,
I have Amazon Prime.
ooh, but watch Hulu commercial free, all the stuff that aired the night before, and all the old
Oh, okay,
episodes.
that's what that is. I thought Hulu was just another Netflix.
No, it is Netflix, but it's television shows
Oh,
too.
okay.
So it's in new shows
On
like
every channel?
ABC, Fox, and a few other ones. Like we watched The Bachelor on that last night, and you just watch it commercial free, so you don't have to like skip commercials or fast forward
I
or
like
any
to
of that
skip
stuff.
commercials.
Yeah, all right. All right. Enjoy
Plus,
that.
I like to see everybody's latest ad campaigns. You know, what's new in the world of marketing.
You do?
I don't know. Sometimes,
You're weird.
shut up.
Yeah, get Hulu. Jeez
You
Louise.
get it.
I got the
I have
Happa.
it.
The
Yeah,
Happa
I do
on
love the
Dish,
Happa.
and it'll skip right through your commercials.
Yeah.
Like automatically?
Yes. You're just like got the worst
I
technology,
have
bro.
the Xfinity X1
Yeah,
package.
and
you
you
know
rent
how much
movies
he
from
pays
it.
for that?
Yeah, too much, and he
Way
rents
too
movies
much.
from it, and he buys movies from it. Like
Only when I'm babysitting.
if you
or
cord
alone.
cut, you say you're doing things all wrong.
Wow, I'm doing things all wrong. Well, thank God you're here.
I've been telling you, you've been doing
You
it
have
wrong.
been telling him for a while.
I even
Why
tell
she
you,
has Dish and you don't like Dish, but you're
I
not
love
giving
Dish.
Dish.
I love Dish when I had Dish. I don't have Dish anymore.
Dish is
I
up
just got
and
the
down.
Well,
I
why
think
don't you
they're all
have
up and
Dish
down.
then? Why
'Cause
don't
I
you
have
stick with
Hulu.
Dish? Oh, well, then why don't you have Dish? You don't
because
have live
I have
news.
Hulu
So how do you watch the news?
on DirecTV Now, which is like $20 a month.
Yeah. Remember when we did that topic that morning and all the people that started texting in
Cord
about
cutting.
what they do to save their
Yeah.
money? And they
Cord
don't
cutting
even
is
do.
where it's at. You pay for all those channels. It's a waste of money on Xfinity. You can watch all those channels on Hulu for $11.
Okay.
I'm just saying.
Talk to me. Are you working for them now?
Yes.
Fine, I'll sign
No,
up.
I'm just saying to save you money on
Fine.
Xfinity.
He's
Fine.
trying to help you out.
Fine. I mean, you find no pluses to that format?
To what format?
To like a
Xfinity.
cable or a dish.
Well, that's what DirecTV Now is. If I have to watch something live, I'll pay $20 and watch DirecTV Now. But anything else, I'll watch Hulu or any of that other stuff and binge watch it. It's like
So how do you watch your Raw, your WWE
that'll
Raw?
be on Hulu the next day too.
Okay.
Commercial
Oh, so
free.
you're always
without
a day
anything.
off.
Yeah.
Okay.
But it's always commercial free, and I just sit there and I watch it, and then it's like, all right, it's better than having to wait through commercials. Because even if I wanted to watch it live, I'd be painful. I would never want to sit through 5 minutes.
Have you
of
ever watched the
commercials.
show in real time with commercials?
Huh? Not
Recently?
anymore.
Okay, well
Not
then how do
anymore.
you do the WWE Raw? I mean, like all of a sudden, oh my God, the Beast is coming back, and look at what
You
he
just
did.
don't pay attention to
You
the,
don't- okay.
to the things that are like released. Like if there's some breaking news, and most of those things aren't even like spectacularly like shocking anymore.
I don't know. You heard that the Undertaker might be coming back.
Yeah,
just
but
to show up.
But even then,
He
it's
can't
gonna
fight,
be
though.
it'll be on a pay per view, and if he does come back, you'll know when he's back.
You sound bored with the format.
Yeah, bored with a lot of stuff.
Wow.
Yeah, happy Wednesday.
Yeah, exactly.
Everybody.
Good.
There's a bunch of
freaking
people that don't
morning.
have. Remember, we did the topic when you're talking about, and there was a bunch of people that I don't have cable, Wi-Fi,
Right.
anything.
Nah.
They're just listening to us bitch about formats.
Yep. Good morning.
Blazin' Hit Radio.
Better music,
Less commercials.
more Larry and Kathy.
Ah, so did any of you get it on last night?
No, not even with myself.
Got peanut butter on my bread. That's what I got.
What?
Okay, that sounded weird.
Okay, what?
That's slang term, Kathy, for a guy who has to rub it out dry.
Yeah.
Are you kidding me?
No, I
No.
just ate food.
Oh,
Peanut butter and jelly sandwich.
I know, but
Oh,
she
thank
said, "Did
God.
you get any last night?"
Oh.
and yeah, and you said I got peanut
Peanut
butter on my bread.
I don't know.
That
I'm
sounded
tired.
weird. That sounded like
I was like,
so
what?
weird.
What kind of dude talk is that?
He's all, I had sex with a piece of bread and some peanut butter.
Wow, Kayla, hurry up and get home.
He saw a problem was she was right there.
She was right there. Poor
Yeah, she's
sandwich.
she's pretty
She-
grossed out by me a lot.
She had a piece of bread with jelly on it on her side.
Uh-huh.
So together they made a sandwich.
Right, is that what happened?
I don't know.
The reason why I asked is because last night was the top night for making babies.
Oh,
well, I've
you
already
did
done
that.
I know
Yes,
you already did
already
it,
good.
but maybe somebody
Super
out
sperm.
there, super sperm. Are you going to get a T-shirt that says
I did
that?
think about that
Please
because
not.
I wanted to make a custom one where it was like the S on the chest, but the top of it looked like the head of a sperm, and then the bottom of the S looked like a tail.
Okay,
But-
no, you're going to be a dad soon. Okay, you
Okay,
can't
you know
do
what?
stupid stuff like that anymore.
You can get a shirt like that, but you have to buy it at a gay bar.
Hey everyone, Super Sperm's here.
Who wants some?
What's the peanut butter on the bread?
Yes. So if you're saying that that was the night to make a baby.
Yeah, because they say that last night was the top night for making babies because the average amount of, like the biggest, most common birthday is September 26th, which
Okay.
means 38 weeks from now is September 26th. You'd have your baby. So last night was the night.
Huh, so if you
A lot of
really
people were getting it on.
went outside and listened carefully, you may have heard it.
You could have.
Like a in unison. Yeah.
if you're in an apartment.
Right.
Super Sperm.
Okay, again.
Nobody else says
Nobody
that.
ever wants to hear that. I mean, maybe
Yeah.
your wife, but
No, she didn't want to hear it.
Yeah, I
either.
didn't think
she
so.
wasn't really impressed when I was saying that. But so that's why the worst part is because I said it probably would have dropped off. But then when the doctor said it, it's like, well,
well, hey,
It's a
you know,
confirmation,
this is doctor
obviously.
certified.
you,
Right.
you like this doctor, Dr. Phil. What's
Maybe
up?
the doctor liked you.
Yeah. No,
So I like your T-shirt.
no, he's a cool doctor. Although I do feel like I feel bad for girls, man. I didn't realize all the stuff that you go to when you go to the doctor and all
yeah,
that stuff. And
totally.
I'm just like,
What do you
dang.
mean?
Like
Well,
even
it's a lot of doctors.
even the OBGYN, right?
Yeah.
Like even that part I didn't realize, right? Exactly what that is. So to me I'm like, God,
You
if
had to go in there?
Yeah,
Yeah,
and
he's
so
he's the
I'm
dad.
the husband.
Oh, you're
and
going to
so,
see a bunch of stuff you didn't see before then, right?
So yeah, and so to me I'm like, oh my God, I couldn't imagine like being hunched over and having my butt cheeks spread open and then like just
you
getting,
can't
like,
really,
getting like
really,
probed.
you can't.
Didn't that happen to
Super
you?
sperm.
Yeah.
Didn't the doctor make you do that when he was just checking you for scoliosis?
No, that
And then he
was
was like, well, that didn't taste like salad.
got my medical card
Wow.
for life from that one. Yeah.
You should have. That was gross, Larry.
Yeah,
Just so
that
you
was,
know.
I-
That was
hello,
gross.
him bent over, spreading his butt cheeks was
Okay,
fine.
well,
That's
and
a-
I say that.
And then you
did-
took it a step further.
well, you said he was being molested by the doctor. I
M-
no, that's the story
MGYN,
he's
bro.
brought up before.
man butt doctor.
well, so and then Nicki Minaj can say it in a song, but all of a sudden I say it and shoot me.
Yeah, that's gross.
The good thing is the probing only happens like the first time you go in and
Mm-hmm.
stuff. Now ultrasounds will just be on top of your belly,
Yeah,
On
my
top
cousin-
of my belly.
on top of her belly. You're losing your belly. You're doing the P90X.
my cousin Tina said that. I think I was talking to her about this because I do have a couple. Maybe I was talking to you about it. I don't know. But like she said that initially the equipment that they use on people, on girls,
Yeah.
was used to be metal and cold.
Totally.
And then
Totally.
so why didn't anybody think to correct that sooner?
I don't know.
Okay.
Now they just go,
No, because
No.
then you're
No.
putting bacteria on it.
Ew, exactly.
Right.
Food particles. So what do they use now? Something that's heated?
I think it's in a heated drawer.
Oh, okay. if
Which
you have
I'm
a good
fine
doctor.
with. Right.
If you're down at the regular,
If you're down at like the college clinic,
Right.
you're still getting
the cold one.
right, exactly.
this is where you insert it.
So did you have to hold her hand during this whole process?
Yeah, I guess I was just sitting by her head.
Okay.
Just like sweating in my head. Like, I was like, oh my God. It's like, women go through this?
Totally.
Totally.
But very cool though that it's probably very rare for them to actually have couples that are excited that they're pregnant.
Right. Oh, right. I guess people are usually in there crying. Are you
Right.
sure?
Are you sure?
Yeah, I'm hoping for twins.
Come on.
Yeah.
But it didn't happen. There was only one
Well, I
heartbeat.
don't know. There was only one heartbeat, but you never know.
Do twins
stop
run in the
it.
family?
Yeah. And
Okay.
so, and then
Her family or your
yeah,
family?
Her family. And then I said triplets, and then she kept saying, "Don't you put that on me, Ricky Bobby." That's what she kept saying. I was like, all
She
right.
knows you so well and she still loves you. I
Yeah.
love that.
Oh yeah. Oh,
Thank you, Kayla.
It would be the way to get them out of the way if you were going to have two and then all of a sudden you got two. There you go.
I think that'd be awesome.
Right.
That's
You know,
good.
like
Although
J-
it's probably
J-Lo did
hell
it.
if without nannies.
Oh, for sure.
Right.
Twins. Or I couldn't at the same time going through all those stages.
But
Right.
then they go to
This might
school
kill me.
together, and
True.
they're like
Little
they got each
buddies.
other's back.
Right. If you're a twin, you have a thing. You have an angle. People are like, you're twins. And you're dressed alike. You got a thing. Like, they're almost like little celebrities, twins are.
True.
You know what I mean? People
And
are like, hey, we're friends with the twins.
Twinning.
And people like to say that, right?
Yeah, and if you're girl twins, as you get older.
Right. People are like, and those twins!
Yeah, there's that.
I don't even know
Not
what
you.
that
You
That
got
was the
one.
Bud Light commercial.
Dilly Dilly.
Yes, dilly dilly.
Dilly Dilly.
So
Misery.
last night, speaking of dilly dilly, I was at Top Golf for a second on New Year's Eve.
Very cool. I still haven't done that.
People kept yelling dilly dilly, like he'd come over the speaker. Somebody would be like, "And it's 11:01, dilly dilly."
Oh, that's funny.
And you'd hear everybody dilly dilly, and then they
Dilly-dilly.
shoot a ball. Last night at 10:36 is.
The time you were supposed to get it on.
Well, actually, in general, most people have relations at 10:30 at night.
The news just ends and then they go
I
to
don't
town
know.
or what?
I don't
With
know.
the sound of Fallon and Kimmel in the background.
kicking on.
Right.
I'm hoping to be asleep by 10:30 at night.
Well, our job for sure. If we're not asleep by 9:30,
Yeah,
something's wrong.
right.
Yeah. Although I didn't sleep last night, and then it's funny because it's like
Nobody's sleeping
nobody.
right now.
You go on Facebook and you can write something, and maybe it's just because our Facebook profiles are just so different. But it's like I just post something like "can't sleep ZZ," and people are like. I'm like, you guys can't sleep either, huh?
Exactly.
No,
And then I'm
there's
like,
a whole epidemic of people that can't sleep, and then there's night shifters and late shifters, whatever.
Totally.
So there is a small community still awake. But yeah, I saw your post because I couldn't sleep. I've like been awake since 1, and so I saw your post and I was like, you'd said something about just some stuff you had to do today, and I said, yo. You know, to try to get you to be like, hey, hit me back. But then you were gone from the post. So.
Yeah, and then I saw that, and I was like, oh, because it was about YOLO Rum. Because it's about YOLO Rum.
He saw it, Larry.
But I was doing
He
like a
didn't
signal,
want to
like
respond.
I know I was doing like a yo, I'm up too.
Yeah,
Larry
no,
does.
We know exactly
Yes.
what your yo means, Larry.
Exactly. It
Whether
could
it's a
be-
text
yes.
message or whatever it is.
And it could be like, yo, or like,
Yo.
yo. Yeah.
Yep, that's Larry. Right.
When have I ever said
And
you
then
were
it's
yo?
followed by a bunch
Question
of different
mark.
question marks. Exactly.
That's
Yep.
just somebody reaching out after nobody replied after a little while to see.
Little
if they
No,
while.
you give it literally minutes.
Minute, 2 minutes. Question mark.
And I'm like, Jesus.
Yeah.
Shut up! That is not me.
We just
What I'm saying is I'm not doing it. I never text and go, yo. I don't say it like that ever.
Okay, you're not saying it, but that's okay. When it comes to
implied.
That's fine. That's fine.
We didn't even talk
That's
about
fine.
this.
That's fine. It's awesome.
Jeez.
yo,
It's up. Sup. What you doing? Or what was the Eli Manning
You
thing?
out?
Oh, sup.
You
You
up?
up?
You
yeah,
out?
Sup. You up?
you out? So yeah, good times.
Great oldies.
Okay, good. I also have, did you guys hit the Jeopardy contestant?
Oh, yeah.
Do you have that?
Yeah, that's fine.
You have the audio? Okay. I'm going to read this really fast while you find the Jeopardy info, Wiggins.
Okay.
On the text line, my husband can relate to Wiggins' first time experience at the gyno. I had cervical cancer and he didn't know why I dreaded the appointment, so I made him go into the room with me.
She's like, I put him in the stirrups too.
Not only did I have my gyno in there, my radiologist was there as well. So I had the one exam, and then my radiologist, when the second doctor did his exam, he says out loud, "Are you kidding? Both have to do the exam?" He said to me when we left, "I had no idea it was that invasive. I'm so sorry. You can be crabby all you want." Yes.
Yes, every guy should go to the appointments.
Do you know I had to go with my girlfriend once in college, and her boyfriend cheated on her and gave her herpes?
Oh no.
And it was all over. Like, it went onto her legs. It was like all over. And so being in there with her.
You're a good friend.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, I was just like, and it's a college clinic, so it's like, ooh.
They see that all the time.
They see it all the time, but it's also not the best doctor.
Oh,
and
right.
he wasn't in a good mood because he was mad. He was having to do, he had to leave the hospital to come up to the campus and whatever. So I'm sitting in the room with her, holding her hand, just not looking at it.
Kathie's wearing a rubber glove holding her hand. You're all, I'm here for you. Kathie's in a bio suit.
You look good.
I'm here
Everything's
for
gonna
you.
be okay.
I'll be in the car. In the car.
In the car. I'll keep it running. Yeah, so I've been in there.
Oh, so you've been on the other side of the other side.
Holding hands, right?
Right.
But it was good to have my husband. Like, he made it to every single appointment with me.
Oh.
which was needed. 'Cause,
Yeah,
you
for
you
sure.
got to suffer like I am, at least to get interrupted in
Yeah.
your daily schedule to make these stupid appointments.
That's why you married him. He's Mr. Efficient.
He is.
Yeah, always never.
Sets the bar high.
He's a good guy.
I don't want to miss any appointments or anything. I want to
Oh,
be
no,
at all
for
that
sure.
stuff.
Oh,
Yeah.
you're so cute. Okay, so do you have the Jeopardy?
Yep.
Okay, so a Jeopardy contestant mispronounced a word and it cost him $3,000.
A song by Coolio from Dangerous Minds goes back in time to become a 1667 John Milton classic. Nick.
What is Gangster's Paradise Lost?
Yes. Our judges have reevaluated one of your responses a few moments ago, Nick. You said gangsters instead of gangstas on that song by Coolio. So we take 3,200 away from you, so you are now in second place.
He's all, and we're taking away any black card you may have owned, even though you're
He's
white.
like, I'm about to get gangsta on your
Right,
ass,
exactly.
Alex.
Wow,
yeah, they
that's
literally
messed
took
up.
it away because gangsta and gangster are two totally different words.
They are.
Yes.
Yeah, but when you're like a nerdy white guy, what are you gonna pronounce?
Right.
You're going to have to say it the right way.
Yeah, I don't know. I wouldn't say if I'm
Like
on
if-
the fly.
Yeah, I don't know, because like if all of a sudden the answer was enchilada, would you say, but the correct
Enchilada?
enchilada. So they'd be like, nope, you said enchilada the white way.
Right. Well, there's that.
Right.
You didn't roll your R's.
He might have. I might have
lawsuit?
a case,
Right. But it only
didn't-
A
lost him-
lawsuit? Can you sue for that?
You can't sue for that.
Oh, I don't know.
It didn't cost him the win. The good news was he
Oh, okay.
won with $15,000 that night, but he didn't win last night, so he's out.
Okay.
Bye, Nick. You gangsta.
So now you have to really know when you're going on there to really, pronounce it the right way.
Get it right.
Because don't you
Put
lose?
some black on it.
Don't you lose even if you don't say what is? Like, do you
You have
give-
to put
you
your form in
yeah.
your answer in the form of a question.
Yeah. So then you're screwed, right?
Larry's screwed. He can't play that game where everything has to be a question.
We should try that.
Do you want to do it right now?
Do you want to do it right now?
I don't know if
There
Larry's
you go.
going to be good
He's
at this.
trying. That was good. Okay.
I
So
just
it's back
did it.
to
I
you.
said I don't know if Larry's going to be good at
we're
this.
doing a three-way.
Oh, okay. Let's try it.
Okay, so it's your
Oh,
volley.
okay. All right. Do you know what the weather is today?
I don't know. Let me ask. Wait, do you know what the weather is?
I think it's going to be
cheating.
It wasn't really cheating. It was just a run-on sentence, and then I asked Wig.
I think it's going to be freezing, but I don't know if it's going to be like below freezing.
Okay, that's
No, that was a fail. It wasn't a question. No, this is
I had it
an
in my
improv.
head at
This
first.
is
We're
an
horrible.
improv exercise where you have to answer every question with a question.
Do you
Everything-
guys want a beer? No.
Do you think people think that was actually a beer?
Is that a light beer?
This is a delicious beer. Dilly dilly. Do you want to go to the pit of misery with me?
Okay, you were close.
You're right.
That was
He was
close.
walking
Wait,
the
you
line.
saved
He
it.
ended
You
with a
saved yourself.
question.
That was good.
Was it though?
Yeah, I'll go with you to the pit of misery. I'm out.
Damn it!
Larry, do
Will
you want to
there
come
be-
with us?
I have to ask my husband if it's okay.
No. Will there be food in the pit of misery? Because I could eat a whole cake.
What do you want to eat?
Good one, Wiggins.
Bad one, Kathie.
Oh no, I
Oh,
messed up
okay.
a long time ago.
All right, let's just try to
Right.
keep staying in it.
The other
Well,
rule.
what
of,
order is it go? Larry, Kathy, me? or
oh
what?
Lord,
I think it's
I
just-
thought it was going Larry. You.
That was my question.
Ah,
I win.
Darn it!
You did
yeah,
win.
Wiggins actually wins.
Son of a-
This round is yours, buddy.
hey, hit us up in the studio, 303-728-3420. Call us about anything. You can hit us up on the text line on the same phone. You can also use the app to send a shout out or just hit the button and call us. So
Yeah.
Do you think they'll call us or text us?
I don't know, whatever you want to
Oh,
do.
he's doing the question
Oh.
again.
I don't know what's for lunch.
Did you make a baby last night?
Was it good for her?
Blazin' Hit Radio.
Good morning, you guys.
Now with more us.
You rock.
Better music, less commercials, more Larry and
I
Kathie.
just love you both.
So you asked for shout-outs or text messages, 303-728-3420. We got these shout-outs that came into us yesterday after we announced that my wife and I, Kayla, are having a baby. So this was, and I like this one right here.
Hi, Larry, Kathie, and Wiggins. So glad you guys are back. Happy New Year. That was one long week without you guys in the mornings. I was starting to have PTSD from you guys being gone. But I'm glad you're back again. I had an idea for Wiggins for the gender reveal. So I think if you're going to stick with the 7-Eleven Slurpee theme, you should order a Slurpee machine or borrow one, and cover it in colored construction paper and question marks, pink and blue, whatever you want to do, and have whatever Slurpee color come out be the gender. So anyways, there's just an idea for you. Again, Happy New Year. Love you guys. Bye.
Yeah, blue raspberry is a boy, and
or Sour
cherry.
Patch. Oh yeah, cherry.
Cherry is the girl.
Yeah.
But a lot of people are choosing to raise their kids non-gender.
Yeah, they are.
So what do you get? Purple?
You get yellow.
You get yellow?
Or you wouldn't make a big deal of the gender reveal because you don't care about gender.
Right.
You know, in other words, so there'd be no special thing. You're just a person.
Is it
I
the
guess.
idea to hit a baby pinata bad?
The Trump pinata with babies in it?
No, I don't want anything with around Trump around my baby.
If you have no problem hitting a donkey pinata, I mean, you're still hitting an animal.
No, right.
Oh, I was like, you want it to be a donkey?
I know.
I was like, a baby donkey?
I know. I'm just saying, a lot of pinatas are donkeys, and nobody has a problem with
Yeah.
that. So if you want to push the baby pinata, go for it.
Well, then because people were like, no, you can't do that. I was thinking about just having a hole in the bottom of it, and then you take off a diaper, and a whole bunch of
Okay, that's funny.
balls come out.
Okay,
like
don't say that. Then it's a boy.
So then everybody knows it's a boy.
No,
Right.
gumballs
came out. And then if they're
Pink
girl,
gumballs.
It's a
fallopian
girl.
tubes.
Yeah,
Pink fallopian tubes.
Exactly. OBGYN. And then
I think you keep thinking about it.
Yeah, I don't think this is
Keep working it out.
You have some time.
maybe maybe a giant Slurpee pinata or
Right.
something like that. So and then
that sounds custom made.
well, no, I know someone who makes pinatas.
Oh,
like,
for real?
here's what's
For
so
real?
weird. Here's
Who
what's
says that? Nobody. I know somebody who makes
Right,
pinatas.
yeah.
Not
He's in
only
the pinata business.
Not only do I know someone, and I can't. The problem is I don't remember who told me this, but two people,
What?
two different people. I told them the baby pinata thing. Oh, we know someone who does pinatas. They do custom pinatas all the time, and I was
For
all,
real?
huh? I was
That
like,
must be the new thing in your basement. Hey, you got your little pinata shop?
yeah.
Everybody's starting their
They're
Pinterest.
down there with the
Pinata.
newspaper,
Right.
dipping it in the flour and water,
Put it on the balloon.
putting it on.
Yeah, so and then our Australian friend sent us a
Oh,
shout
cool.
out.
Hi guys, Wiggins Aussie neighbour here again. Well, I happened to hear some yelling the other day coming from Wiggins' house about some super sperm. I had something totally different pictured in my head, so I'm so glad we finally cleared that up.
Yeah,
Anything with that accent sounds just right.
Sounds
It sounds
fun.
like, yeah, I like that.
I think it's hilarious. That's your neighbor. That he's totally
Right.
becoming like another part of our show.
That's how far Wiggins lives.
Yeah.
From
He lives
the
in
studio.
in Australia.
yeah. That's why it takes me forever to get over here. Yeah, because I'll say it was spam.
Somebody said if you have somebody that makes it, may have them make a baby bottle or a pacifier pinata.
Right, they probably sell those for sure. Yeah, so it doesn't have to be a baby.
I just read you can hit that. I was like, I can hit what? I was like, oh, a pinata.
I'm
Pinata,
married.
Yeah, I was
right.
like,
Please send your picture.
oh,
Right.
super sperm.
Wow.
Maybe I can have a giant sperm pinata.
That sounded gross, even for me. And I'm into that stuff. That's
Yeah, that's disgusting.
You're all filled with yogurt.
Last thing I want to see. That's gross. Oh yeah.
I need a go-gurt.
Okay.
A yogurt.
Oh, so okay.
Take a breath.
Isn't that gross? That was, I guess, that day.
Well, I mean, some people just don't even like anybody to bring that whole word up.
That
And
would
you're
be
saying
me.
it.
That
Right.
would be me right
Exactly.
here. Yep. Hands in
Kathie
the
barely
air.
likes
Hearing any of it. Here
pudding.
you go.
Right.
So, if you are somebody that is just recently dating somebody, like you just found somebody, you're
Oh,
kind of
that's-
in the new stages of it,
Right. That's a good part. You're all,
right? And when you really like that person, all you do is think about them.
Right.
All you do is you want to talk to them.
and then you're just
wanna
like, what are
go
we going
see
to do
'em.
tonight?
Yeah, you want to.
Are we
going to
hang out tomorrow? Yeah, sometimes you can get into that mode where you're just like, let's see each other tomorrow too.
Exactly.
Right.
And you know what you're doing? You're burning it out.
Yep.
Exactly.
You got to leave a little bit of wanting.
Yes.
You
There's
got to
a,
reel them in.
a psychiatrist named Scott Carroll says that the best new thing that new couples can do is only see each other twice a week at the most.
The more you draw it out
Yeah.
and don't burn it out, the longer it's going to last.
True.
So if you're one of those couples that like, oh my God, we're going to see each other every day for 3 weeks in a row because you just got like linked up, like you'd be surprised how quick that burns out.
I know, but
3 more weeks and you're like,
you got to keep the fire burning a little
You think
bit.
that emotion is so real.
oh, it is.
That it's going to last forever.
For sure.
Exactly. You don't
it's the
realize you're burning it
euphoria.
out.
Right, for sure. So if you leave them wanting a little more, especially if you find somebody you really like, then you kind of really have to do the less is more thing.
It's kind of like those survival tips where when you start a fire and you just get the spark going, you're
Right, and then it doesn't go. You're all, damn it!
You gotta go real
you gotta keep
slow.
it going. You gotta go real
But once that
slow.
fire is finally there,
Right.
It takes
good,
off.
it's gonna last. Yeah.
And like that was kind of like Chris and I, like we didn't burn it out, and we kind of paced ourselves or whatever.
What? You guys immediately started like being together 24/7.
No,
like he was coming to your club nights. You
Yeah.
guys, you saw him at work every day.
Oh,
like,
No, I
nice
did not
try.
see him at work every day because he worked a different time shift than me. So I did not. It was kind of built. We built it up. It wasn't. We didn't go like 24/7 right away. That's why it lasted so long. And then once you get past that part, and then you can really start hanging out and like maybe planning a possible future or whatever. Then the best part is like Chris and I swear to God, did not have one argument until like almost to year 2. Like there was, I'm gonna say a year and a half. Not one fight, not one disagreement, nothing. I was like, this is a miracle. I didn't even want to tell people because it was happening. I was like, and especially after it passed a year, I was like, okay, this is weird.
Right.
I was like, this is super weird. And so
when the first fight happened, were you like?
I brushed it off. I was like, one in every 2 years, I'm in.
Right.
Now, how often do you guys fight?
We actually don't. Like, you know.
Not like a bad argument, but you guys.
No. But I mean, we really haven't. Like, in other words,
How often do you guys have a pet peeve, get on each other's nerve incident?
if it happens, it comes and goes really quick. And I don't know why. Don't be mad at me. I'm telling you the truth. Like I'd say that anytime that it's like bad is if he's like in a mood. You know what I
Okay.
mean? So like,
But he's sarcastic,
He's
though.
moody. Yeah.
no, but he can be in a mood, and then I kind of know how to traverse my way through that. You know what I mean?
Right. You let it go a lot.
Right, for sure. And
Because
then
he does do the whole.
it can
Oh,
happen,
mocking?
but
he
it
or
hasn't
just rolls
happened.
his eyes.
It hasn't happened in a while. We're really on a good up.
That's
You know
good.
what I mean?
Good.
So I mean, that people also need to understand that relations go up and down.
Yeah.
Sometimes you're fighting more, sometimes you're fighting less. But I find that baby talk is key. Like if you can stay in baby talk mode, you're in heaven.
You know, who's mad at me today?
No, not like that. I just mean
I don't-
smoopy talk. I just mean like when you talk to Mr. Fisher and you say you love him after you talk. And you talk to Kayla, I hear you go, I love you. So like to me,
Okay,
that's
I love you
smoopy
is a
talk.
smoopy talk.
Hello, I love you. Are you there? Oh,
That to me is smoopy talk. Like saying you
Saying
love
I
it
love
to-
you is schmoopy talk?
Yeah, that's like loving, and like that means that you're in the good zone.
No, Larry does smooth talk all the time because he goes.
No, you guys do like
He-
actual, it's your
yeah,
tone,
it's
it's
your
the
tone.
way
He
you.
goes,
Hi, love.
Yeah,
Yeah,
totally.
totally. I don't do
I
that.
don't do
Yeah.
that
You
either.
guys don't do that?
No, I think Kayla might think it's like phony because I'm like an angry,
Right.
pissed off guy all the time, and then the
Exactly.
second I'm like, "Hey, Kay," she's like, "What?
What do you
want?
want? That's
What'd you
exactly-
do?
What are you asking
That's
for?
exactly what I would do.
So you
if
guys
Mr.
don't do
Efficient started schmoopy talking, I'd immediately
Yeah.
look at him and go, "What?
Yeah.
What do you have to tell me? Is it bad news? Because get it out now."
Wow, that sucks.
See, I don't-
Maybe it's because we're both gay dudes. You know what I mean? So in other words, like Mr. Fish ain't gonna come with a schmoopy talk because he's a straight man, and you're like,
And I'm too
you're
tired
a
to
man.
schmoopy talk
You're
him.
Frank,
Yeah.
and so I don't know.
I'm just angry all the time. I think
All right, listen, I can't be the only one. Somebody back me up on this. 303-728-3420. Do you schmoopy
Do you
talk?
do the smoopy talk too?
Schmoopy talk
Do you
with the
do
baby, baby?
303-728-3420. You can call or text. But here's the
Or
thing.
shout out.
Yeah, whatever. But it's like it's not always do do ba ba poo poo. But it's definitely like you said. Like I'll be like, "Hi, love. What are you doing?" And then I'll be like,
Maybe I'll do that.
well, and then also say, I want you to come home. I'm mad now. You know, I'll like,
Yeah, I don't do that.
you know, thought like that. And then sometimes I'll be
No.
like, please.
Yeah, we
And we'll be
know.
like,
Yeah.
We know.
Please.
Right.
Okay, so
No,
you don't do
I
that
might be
either?
like, "Hey, bub," but then after that, it's like, "God, I'm so pissed off."
You call her bub?
Yeah.
Oh,
Call her
that's
bub.
cute. So you guys are more like, Hello, spouse. Let's get to the official things we need to discuss.
I think Mr. Efficient and I are. It's kind of
Okay.
like,
We
hey,
get right
you have-
to it.
yeah, right.
We have someone calling right here if you want us to get
Yeah,
real quick.
let's say I love you and stuff, but there's never any goo goo boo 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 boo.
But I don't talk like a baby. Schmoopy does not mean baby.
Hello, love.
Blazin
You
Hit
come home
Radio.
now.
Who's this? Hello.
Hello?
Hey, it's Rick.
Hey, Rick.
Hello, Rick. How are you?
Rick, do you Schmoopy talk?
No. No spoopy talk.
Wow, it's real boring at your house. Why not?
Weird.
Do you guys like tell? Well, I mean, like, are you guys super gone from the honeymoon phase? Because maybe that to me is a carryover from the honeymoon phase.
It's gotta be. Ask Kathie. If I did spoopy talk, Kelly'd be like, "What?"
Right. What do you want, Rick? What do you?
What are you saying? I don't understand what you're saying.
What did you break?
She's like, I knew you were gay.
No.
Right. Exactly.
Right. I would expect more smoopy talk between you and my husband than between.
Who wants to see any clips? Who wants to go see clips?
Who's gonna go see
You
the
know
clips
what?
together?
I could see how, like, couples, you with each other a long time, the romance wears off, and then all of a sudden you have a little bromance on the side, so it's a little more exciting than the regular life at home. So I get that.
Do you guys even say you love you to each other?
Oh yeah.
You and Mr.
You and Mr.
No, Rick.
Oh my God.
You and your wife.
No, he meant Mr.
I want to
Efficient.
back up.
Whoa.
Do you and your wife say I love you?
That was the last chapter in the Bible. That was the revelation. So you do schmoopy talk, but with Kathie's husband.
But that. I take the fifth. So. No, that's not spoopy talk.
just saying I love you.
Spoopy talk is what you were just. Yeah, that's normal.
No,
See,
but
I agree.
That's just,
Well, okay,
I love you is just normal, and
fine,
hey babe is
fine.
normal.
I love you is a closer for a call, but when you haven't talked in for the whole day, you don't sound excited to them. You don't know, like, hey, no. Oh.
No.
Okay.
Sorry.
I guess I'm out on a limb here. 303-728-3420. There has to be a couple that just have been dating only a year that are all still like
oh no,
this.
they're just doing.
Thanks for calling, Wick. We'll talk to you later, buddy.
Thank you. You hang up first.
No, you hang up
first.
Hey, we'll tell Mr. Efficient you love him.
Yeah.
Okay, goodbye.
Goodbye.
Hey, guys.
On
He
the-
did say that because you said you love him, and then he's like, I do, and I was all,
I love him.
huh. All right.
I meant he and his wife
Right,
Kelly.
right.
Yeah.
On the text line, Larry, maybe it is a gay thing. Me and my girlfriend baby talk all the time.
I don't get that. Is it?
She, lesbians.
Oh, okay. Because I was like, what?
You dork.
Like-
Wiggins.
Women can be gay too, you know.
Oh, what's up? I love you.
Yeah.
Love you
What's up,
too.
brah?
Larry, yes, I schmoopy talk, and not like a baby, but totally different. Well,
And mine
I'm not
isn't
saying
like
it's
a baby
baby, yeah.
either. Mine is just like a higher pitch.
Hi, love.
Hi, love. What are you doing? And they'll be like,
No, we act like you miss them again.
okay. And I'll just be like, so, because he recently had to fly. And I'll be like, what? You have to fly again?
Okay, that's normal.
And then I'd be like, ugh. No, don't talk to me. I'm mad at you now. Or
What?
just something I'd be like,
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
like, I'm
no,
mad.
go back to the
Yeah,
other.
yeah.
I missed you. You come home now.
well, then let me call him, and then I can just, you can hear
it'll,
it.
it'll be the normal reaction.
It'll be the natural way.
Yeah.
Let me see if he answers. You can hear the
Do you
one
want me to
side.
call
Yes.
him from this line, or you can call him from there?
Well, no, because then
You
he'll
can
know
hear
to
him.
talk different if he's on the show.
Yeah.
Yesterday, Mr. Efficient and I talked like it was afternoon. We hadn't talked all day.
Oh, no, he's in the air.
Oh,
Is
darn
like
it.
like business talk,
And
or
it was
what?
totally business to the point where I was like, okay, all right, cool. And he was like, is that it? You got anything else to say? I was like, no, everything's cool.
And the
cool with
meeting
you?
is on.
Right,
Yeah.
exactly.
He's like, I gotta go. Rick is calling me. I gotta.
Right, exactly. And he's
Right.
all, hi, Wiki, what are you doing?
Good baby, I miss you.
When Kathie and Mr. Efficient talk in the middle of the day, it's this. To enter the room, press your code now. You have entered
You
the
have
chat.
the moderator is
in.
on.
And he's all, hello. And then, have you seen that commercial, the Geico? They did that whole thing where you're on a conference call and it's real awkward.
Oh yeah.
So they did a play on that.
Mm-hmm.
So it's like, hey, everybody. And then everybody pauses and they're like, and then two people start to talk. And then the other person stops.
Yeah.
And they're like, okay, so that, it's awkward. I hate conference call pauses.
Yeah.
Because you never know, should I jump in?
Should I say it? Who's going to say something?
Right.
Yeah. And then you got to be like, hey, everyone, this is Wig talking. And it's like, yeah, I know is who it is. You don't got to say that every time.
Kathie has joined the call.
Yeah.
Man, sometimes Mr. Efficient and I just give a high five to each other before we go to bed. Like, we don't
You guys
even.
are bros.
Well, that's because he's got his Darth Vader mask on, though,
No,
right?
he doesn't use it.
Oh, he doesn't use
Well, because
that?
the CPAP, it never helped him, even though he can't.
I could see how that
sleep.
would be an issue.
He didn't have any good results with it.
Right. Like, how could you possibly get good rest with that thing on your face?
Right. Well, we thought if it was helping him, he was willing to do it. Like we used
No,
to
I know, but
travel with
I'm just
it.
saying, like, in the whole scheme of things, how are you supposed to get well
with
rested?
all that wrapped around your face. No, I totally agree. It's like an alien sucking on you.
Right, and then you'd knock it off 10 times a night.
Right, he would, and I'd hear it, and so I'd have to wake up and
Put it back on his
it.
face.
It's like
it sucks onto his
there's
face.
hair
so much,
leaking.
Kathie has so much practice with that. If you're ever on a plane that's going down fast, you
I
want to
can
sit
get
next to Kathie.
I can get the oxygen mask on all of us. Don't worry
Even
about
the
it.
pilots.
Yeah. This text comes in. When I use my husband's first name instead of his pet name, he asks me if I'm mad at him.
Right, because sometimes if you go, hi, love, or, if you don't get that initial, how you normally start, you're like, what's up?
See, that's funny. Sometimes I'll call my husband dude. I'll be like, I know, dude, right?
Right, I like that.
And
That's
he'll
cute.
be like, why are you calling me dude? I'm your husband.
Do you say
Yeah,
dude
'cause
to
I'm
anyone
a
else?
man.
I say dude to everybody. So, but sometimes I'll call him like his full name, and he'll be like, "Why are you calling me that?" Like I call him anything, and he's confused.
If I'm close with a girl, I'll call her dude. Like, I'll call you dude.
Yeah, you do. Yeah, man.
Whatever, dude.
You know what's interesting, though, and I've noticed this being over at Kathie's house and even in Old Thornton, is that when she's...
You got to bring your own chair.
When she's... Yeah. When she's in her comfort zone, she is like a sailor. Like a
Right.
cussing, angry. Like I think that's Frank. Frank is more.
Frank
It's
shows
like
up.
Frank
I know.
shows up at her house more than Kathie comes out.
Although I think it's been reeled in a little because of the
girls, yeah, but it's still
because they're kind of parrots. They like hear you. Like I've slipped up in front of them and said a curse word and been like, "Ooh," and
Right.
then thinking like that was logged in their head.
Oh no, it gets logged. Like even
Like
yesterday, I'm putting because unfortunately I do use the Lord's name in vain too much. Like I
God
do a
damn
lot. No, not that, but I
Oh.
do a lot of oh God, oh God. And
Especially
so,
when the bedroom door is closed.
No.
Oh God.
That's
Oh,
not-
dude.
that doesn't
Oh,
happen.
dude.
Oh, yes. Take it home. No. So,
put that mask back on.
No, Mr. Efficient's like, call me dude.
so yesterday, Gianna's only like 2 years old, and I'm trying to get her pants on, and sometimes both legs go into one leg, one pant leg.
Right.
And so, like with Avery, I had more patience. So it was called, she'd be like, mermaid, and she'd
Right.
giggle, and we'd giggle and take
Right.
the pants off and try again. But I'm so tired and stuff with Gianna that immediately she responded for me, and she goes, "Oh God!" And I was like, I looked at her and I was like, "That's exactly what I was gonna say."
She's now picking up your frustration.
Right. So I got to change that.
She's going to look at Mr. Efficient and be like, hey, dude, you going to feed us breakfast?
Oh my
Yeah, I
god.
gotta watch out.
Yeah, dilly.
Dilly dilly.
303-728-3420. Call, text, give us a shout out. You schmoopy talk.
It's not like that.
You do, baby?
Blazin' Hit Radio.
I love that morning show.
Now with more us.
They wake me up.
Better music, less commercials, more Larry and Kathie.
In the morning, in the shower.
Hey guys, this is Donna from Broomfield. I am on the treadmill, dying of laughter. I tried to do the baby talk with my boyfriend, and he's just like, what are you doing? So I hear what you guys are saying, and I can't stop laughing. Thank you for bringing the laughter in the morning. Love that you guys are back. Have a great day.
That's awesome.
Wow. Hey, at least one of us is working out.
Exactly.
Good job, girl.
Well, that's what a treadmill sounds like.
Well,
Right.
Here's what's funny is when I get those shout outs, I record them into another system. So you guys were upstairs and I'm playing that back. And I didn't hear what she said just because I was doing something else. And at the end I hear, hey, you guys are the great. And I'm like, what is she doing? And then I get to the end, I hear, I was like, oh, okay.
What'd you think she was doing?
I didn't know. I was like, super sperm.
Yeah, right. He thought she was having relations while she was leaving us a shout out.
Gross. So here's the thing. We were saying about baby talk. Like when I was trying to replicate it upstairs, I was able to because you guys say I do it a little more. So I would say, okay, hey,
Kathie should play Chris.
Okay, you
Kathie
be
play Chris.
Right. Okay.
Hello.
Hey, hi, love.
Hey.
What are you doing?
Nothing. Just getting ready for my flight.
So you have another flight after this?
Yeah. I know.
I'm mad at you now.
I'm mad at you now.
I'm mad at you.
No, I'm mad at you.
You should see the beast. He's sitting by the front door and he keeps barking at the UPS guy.
Oh, he is?
He only barks at the black UPS guy, not the white UPS guy. I don't get that.
Yeah.
I don't get that.
Was that still part of Smoopy Talk?
Are you sure you and Kathie didn't date at some point?
I'm just trying. I know Chris, so I'm trying to.
She knows the rhythm.
I know
she used to date Chris.
I know his mannerisms.
Right.
Yeah.
That's why she was doing all those hand gestures and those facial expressions.
No, I wasn't doing anything like that.
I'm just kidding.
Chris
Hi,
is
love. No.
That's Chris.
Did you ever see the Larry David with the gay boy that he bought a sewing machine for? He was dating some girl and she had like a 10-year-old son, and so he met Larry, and so Larry's sitting on the couch waiting for the mom to get ready, and the boy comes in and goes, "Hi, Larry," and he goes, "Hey," and he starts talking to him, and he goes, "What are you doing?" And Larry David is like drawing a Hitler mustache on this magazine. He's all, "Oh, I'm just he's all, "Who's that?" And he's all, "Oh, that's Hitler." And he goes, "Hitler." And he saw a swastika. He's like, "I love the way that goes up and down and inside and down and up." And it was just so funny. So when you said it about Kathie, the mannerisms, that's all I was thinking about.
So did Larry David? I have to hear the end of the story.
Exactly.
So did he buy
see
a
that
sewing
episode.
machine for the dude, and the kid wasn't gay?
No, the kid loved it. The kid was talking. It's funny. The kid loved RuPaul's Drag Race, and so that's
hilarious.
And so he bought it for him. But when he opened the gift, the mom was like, "A sewing machine," and she was all mad that Larry David bought her son a sewing machine. So she gets all offended, and so later in the episode, he sees the kid, and the mom made Larry David buy a new gift for him.
Okay.
And so he sees the kid, and he's all, "Oh, so I'm sorry you didn't like the sewing machine." He's all, "I love the sewing machine." and then Larry David goes, "Oh, you loved the sewing machine," and looks at the mom. It was so funny.
Right.
The mom was Molly Shannon.
Oh, that's
hilarious. We love Molly Shannon.
Yeah, so it was that show is just on
I gotta
point.
put that in the DVR. I forget that one.
Oh, you have to. There was one where he was Michael J. Fox lived above him, and so they got into a beef. So Michael J. Fox would stomp around on the floor, and then Larry David went up there and was like, "What's your problem?" He's all, Michael J. Fox, like, "Yeah, Michael J. Fox,
Shut
Parkinson's." Yeah. This text comes in after 2.5 years together. My fiance and I are still in the honeymoon phase and schmoopy talk on a daily basis. We are still super in love, except lately he's taken to farting in bed.
Okay, see, that's awesome.
Yeah, it's starting to happen.
Okay, for sure.
You've met the representative of that person for 2 years now. Now you're going to start to see the real person.
Here's what's funny about that is I eventually was like, okay, this is unrealistic. We have to fart in front of each other.
Yeah.
And it was probably about 2 years in.
That's ridiculous.
And here's the funny thing is that Chris never stopped. Like, he doesn't fart. I never hear him fart. Ever. I just think it's so weird. And I'm like, do you even fart? And he's like, maybe I do, and you just don't know. So I'm like, okay.
So he does.
And then so once,
so you mean honestly, while you guys are in bed in the middle of the night,
for real,
you don't hear like
I
he
swear to
rolls
God.
over and all of a sudden
No, I have to
pushes
lie to
gas.
him. I have to lie to him and go, you were really farting last night. And he's like, I was? And I was all, no. I don't know how he gets by it, or because he doesn't go out of the room to do it. I don't know. Maybe he.
How does he do it?
I don't know how he does it.
He's got to be sick inside.
Yeah, I fart all the time. Kayla cannot stand it.
Yeah, you're the fart machine.
Yeah, we know.
Especially when I work out. Oh man. on.
So does Mr. Efficient does too.
Yeah.
Like he'll be like, "Oh, I'm wrecking shop," and I'm like, "Okay, you know what? It's one thing when you pass gas and you say, 'Excuse me,' but I'm not your bro. Don't be making jokes about, hey, you want to hear what's coming up? Here's the hottest single." I'm like, okay,
that's funny though.
No,
Kayla
I'm your wife, not your friend.
We'll watch a show in the living room, and then I'm like, oh my God, like this happened last night. We're watching The Bachelor, and I go, oh my God.
The new Bachelor, by the way, is just the same last
always the
guy
same.
of the same guy.
It always is. People get suckered in
so
like Wiggins.
we're watching it, and then I go, oh my God, I gotta go to the bathroom. So I go to the bathroom, and then she will wait for me to get out. And she'll put it on pause.
So she can hear you.
So I'm like, please
start the show.
I can hear it.
Go ahead.
It's okay. I don't really care who's like in the rows right now. Like, let it go.
I need that background sound. Chris does the same thing to me when he goes to the bathroom. If he starts making sounds, because we'll comment on each other's sounds, and like he'll be like, and I'm all, ha ha. Like he'll literally come by the bathroom door to laugh at the sound I made.
Oh,
gross.
It's so annoying.
So
I'm like, can I be left alone? He's all, no, love, I'm right outside the door. No.
On the text line, fun story. A few weeks ago, I was having lunch with my niece at Rock Bottom. Heard Wiggins' voice from the table next to us. I froze. I continued to eavesdrop on the conversation. Sorry, I just was trying to make sure that it was Wiggins that I was hearing.
That's crazy, because you could have been like, then we'll bury the body and we'll take it on that mountain.
Been listening to you guys literally for a long time. I now recognize your voices anywhere. You guys should be on the train. What's happening with that? So happy you guys are back.
I just wonder what I said at Rock Bottom now.
I know. Were you at Rock Bottom?
Who were you talking with?
Yeah, it was with my buddy Joe, the guy who came to the wedding. Joe
Oh,
and
I love Joe.
Yeah. So
I love
Larry
Joe.
makes fun of his small hands, and he was a preemie baby. That's why he's got small hands.
He did
I don't remember making fun of his
You
hands.
totally, because they are small.
Yeah,
they're
you
really,
did.
they're really tiny. Yeah.
I don't remember making a comment about his hands.
Also, you just make fun of everyone.
I don't know, but whatever.
Also on the text line, good morning. It's Michelle from the Bay here. Yup. My boyfriend and I have been together 7 years, and I'd say we have a good mixture of normal talk, schmoopy talk. He's so damn calm about everything. We almost never fight because literally nothing ever phases him. Even after 7 years together, I refuse to fart in front of him.
You held it too long. I mean, you should become human as soon as possible. If you're holding it for 2 years, I don't recommend that. I did it,
You're
and
right.
it's like, but maybe that's
Come on.
why
Isn't
we
that
lasted
painful?
so long. I don't know. It was more of a thing where I'd be like, go out of the room and do it or whatever. And then it got to the point where I was like, not even hiding it. I was like, I'm going out of the room to fart. So it was just out of respect.
I thought you meant you weren't hiding the fart. You still left the room.
No, it happens in my house. Nobody walks out of the room. It's just going to go.
And plus the thing is, because I'm funny about stuff, I will sit there and go, oh, I have a fart. Let me make a joke for this fart.
Of course you
And
do.
then Chris thinks in his head, initially he thought, you just have farts on demand.
See, I thought so,
He
too.
thought the joke was coming, and then I just punchlined it with the fart.
I did too.
Right. No,
Because
you can only
burp
have the joke if you have the fart ready to go.
You can burp on command.
Well, yeah, everybody can burp on
No,
command.
we can't.
No.
Can you burp on command, Producer
Yeah.
Bolte? Oh, okay.
And if you do it too many times, you give yourself the hiccups. By the way, I can self-induce a sneeze.
Yes, you
I'll make
can.
myself throw up. I was trying to burp, and I was all, oh, this hurts.
He's so sensitive. It was so funny because Kayla got him the... What are those things that
You got the virtual
virtual reality thing.
Oh,
Yeah.
that's sick.
Wait, so hold on. He was all posting about it. He's like, yeah, it's so dope. And I was like, oh, that's cool. He's all, it's probably going to make me motion sick.
Yeah, you are.
No.
You can't even ride in the limo with us.
Right.
Remember that?
You can't even ride in the back of a car.
No.
So it did make me sick, but I loved playing it. But so
Worst gift ever.
You hold these two sticks, and there's the light sensor on the balls on the top of it. And so Kayla, I had no idea, because you can kind of hear, but you have headphones in, so you can't really hear. And I knew Kayla was sitting next to me, but you lose all depth
Okay.
perception or anything
No,
that's going on.
crazy.
Are you
So-
supposed to stand still? Because you can't
No,
walk
you
around the
literally
room.
You
go in
gotta move.
circles. And
So you have to move your coffee table or something.
No, yeah, you have to have an area of space. And so as I'm playing it, I'm just like, can you see me? Look at this. Can you see what's on the screen? Look at me. And I'm like doing this.
Looking like an idiot.
She's making out with the neighbor.
No, she took a video and put it on Snapchat. So all you see is me like playing with my. Can you see me? Can you see me? Look what I'm doing. Look what I'm doing. It's so
I love that,
stupid.
Kayla.
Yeah.
That's super sperm.
My husband and I, this is on the text line, have been together for 100 years, and if one of us says the actual name, we assume the other. It said the actual name of the other person. We just assume the other is mad at.
Right, like you do call each other out because it's usually like honey or
our
love.
names aren't mushy, and my husband has even called me dude or bro. Some of ours could be considered racial too, because he calls me almighty whitey, and I call him that black guy. But we try to do that when nobody's around, or only around certain people that aren't going to take offense that no, we've been together 100 years.
That's hilarious.
That is awesome.
When you're comfortable enough to be a little racist.
Well, I remember one time, let's see, nicknames. Remember the trucker I was with? And I always used to be like, oh, like Honey Bunny. I used to call him that and stuff. And one day he was like, he called me Honey Tummy or something, or Chubby Bunny or something. It was something about the fat. And I was like, and I remember just stopping cold and being like, I think you just crossed the line, son.
Kathie's like, I've never stopped dating black guys since.
Yeah, they don't care. They like a little meat on their bones. Yeah. Is Kathie J gonna have to slap a bitch?
That was when Greg was sent packing.
I found the Curb Your Enthusiasm clip. Do you want to hear it from the one with the boy?
Sure.
Okay, let's play that.
Oh.
Hi.
Hi.
My name is Greg.
Is it?
Yes.
My name is Larry.
Hi.
A great pleasure to meet you.
Oh, thank you.
Well, you're very welcome.
Oh, he's cute.
So, what are you drawing?
Oh, I'm just doodling. That's a Hitler mustache. That's Hitler hair.
What's a Hitler?
Oh, Hitler was a bad man.
A bad man?
Very bad man.
Oh, my God.
Yes, he started a war. He didn't really care for Jews. He thought they were a bit much.
I would kick his butt.
Would you?
Yes.
Good for you. What's that? What are you watching in there?
Project Runway. Good show.
And what do you like about it?
The fashion! It's like the best show ever.
You like fashion?
Yes. Yeah. Ooh, what's that right there?
Oh, that's called a swastika.
I like how the lines just go straight and then up and then down and then straight and then up and then down. It's beautiful. My birthday's coming up in a week, so can you get me one?
A swastika? I don't know, Greg. I'll have to think about that.
They should start selling them in every gift shop in New York City.
Yeah, I don't think Jews would like that.
Get a life, Jews.
Yeah. Okay.
Okay. You know what, Wiggins? You mocked him perfect.
Really good. In fact,
I
think that's little Wiggins.
Yeah, I used to say, is that a little Wiggins?
Yeah. Super sperm right there. So 303-728-3420. You guys have been calling us. Some people were on hold, and then they just get so impatient. But if you want to call us back, or text us, or send us a shout out.
Yeah, at some point we do have to go pee or load the bomb.
Heaven forbid.
Wait. Or fart. You can go up to the bathroom and fart if you need to.
You can fart in front of us.
Okay, well, all right. I've been waiting for this.
No.
Blazin' Hit Radio.
Now with more us.
They're just really funny.
Better music,
Less commercials.
more Larry and Kathie.
It's really funny.
It's really funny. So, Larry Wiggins, I think if it...
Yes, Kathie.
No, we're not
yes,
talking. Nice
we
try.
We should all smoopy talk together.
I can't even schmoopy talk.
Yeah, it's hard to fake
You know
the
what?
funk.
Okay, that is not true. If you were talking on the phone late at night in the garage to a current Bronco, you'd be schmoopy talking.
Yeah. Shut up.
So funny how quick that comes back.
Yeah, doesn't it? It's just like riding a bike. You just get back on it, and all before you know it, you're pedaling down the street happy.
It's like riding a bike.
Or a pogo
Black
stick.
guy is like a bike.
Yeah.
A big, fat, tired bike.
So where I was going, Larry, was you know how you and Wiggins, you're friends.
Yeah, we're I'd say we're more than friends.
In what way?
Like family.
We're frenemies.
Okay. Okay. Well, you guys have problems if he's saying family and you're saying frenemy.
I hate my family. So
okay, that's
so
true.
fine.
So you're in, Larry.
We're best friends?
the ones that's blood.
Okay.
Okay, so the reason I asked is because there's two lifelong friends out there. Lifelong friends. Mm-hmm. Turns out they're half brothers.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, that's crazy.
So
He's like, we should have never kissed.
No, that's not what
that's
I was
not how
thinking.
they do
I
it.
was
You don't know
gonna
how the
say-
story. How do you know where the story's going?
Because I've read the
Okay.
story
Oh, okay.
before, yeah.
Do you guys?
They could have had a retarded baby.
It's two guys.
You don't use that word.
Oh, yeah, damn it, a handicapped
And
baby.
it's two guys, and they wouldn't have done
disabled.
that. Yeah.
I know that.
It's not how any of this works.
Yeah. Hey, just because they can't have a baby doesn't mean they shouldn't try.
We've heard
Every
that.
couple should try. Okay, go ahead.
Related sperm?
Two guys from Hawaii named Alan and Walter. Okay?
Okay.
They met about 60 years ago, 6 decades ago in the 6th grade.
Whoa.
They've been close friends ever since, and recently they found out they're even closer than they realized. Walter never knew his dad, started searching for him online a few years ago, eventually signed up for a DNA matching service through Ancestry.com, found out he was closely related to another user who had sent in their DNA.
They're all same address. You guys have one bed. What's going on?
Are you sure you're not from the
Right.
South?
Exactly. He's a good decorator. I'm a cooker.
So the other user turned out to be his friend Alan. They are half brothers, born 15 months apart, had the same mom. So the mom got pregnant with one dude's kid, and was pregnant again that fast and gave birth to another dude's kid 15
so they
months
weren't
later.
twins.
But
They
did she
weren't
give
twins.
it to the dad then, the baby, or did she give it up for adoption? I guess I
No,
missed
the-
that part. So how did they not?
Well, Walter was raised by his mom, never knew his dad.
Okay, but then
So-
what about the other one?
Oh yeah, because where's that? Where
So
was
he must have went to the dad.
All right, hang on. Let's keep looking. Let's keep reading. Okay.
I'm home, but I don't know when. But we'll get together then.
We'll
Alan
get together. Oh, sorry, I
was
thought we were gonna do that.
No, we'll have a good time then.
No,
Alan
have a
was
good
adopted
time.
out. Oh my God, you two. Are you sure you're not brothers?
I
Half
think
brothers?
we kind of are. We definitely talk in sentences where we can finish
We
each
talk
other's
Sandwiches.
shippy to each other.
Now,
What?
Kathy and I can finish each other's sandwiches.
Sandwiches.
We
Yeah.
can finish each other's sentences.
You would have gotten that if you had your kid already, and you would have been watching Frozen.
Exactly.
That's where that's from. We
Oh.
finish is it crazy that we finish each other's?
sandwiches.
Okay,
But you
anyways.
didn't do it.
Oh my God.
well, we're
We're supposed to be. Oh, I get it. You guys.
So
finished each
anyways,
other's-
Alan.
Sorry.
Alan was adopted and never knew his parents.
Oh,
So
okay.
Walter raised by the mom.
Alan never knew his
Alan
parents.
adopted out, didn't know his parents.
So now that they're buddies, did they go find their mother? She's obviously dead. If they're 60,
maybe
Yeah,
she's older.
she might, if she's not remembering it. If
right?
she-
Because they're going to confront her.
He was pretty shocked when it turned out his closest living relative was one of his best friends. So they surprised their friends and family with the news at a party 2 days before Christmas. Alan said it was the best Christmas present he could have imagined. Both of them are 70 now. They're both retired. They're looking forward to spending more time together with their brothers.
And the whole thing was filmed for Ancestry.com's TV promotion.
No lie.
Right.
Totally. You should do it.
Yeah.
I've done it.
Oh, you have?
They did it for not Ancestry, but another one. I don't know which.
STD test.
Yeah, they do a swab of your mouth, and then you have to go behind the
DNA
curtain.
test to make sure Mr. Efficient and you were the father of the kid, mother of the kids.
No, but I did it, and I don't even remember what the results were.
Did they tell you anything crazy?
No,
Like,
they just tell you like where you're from.
they don't go, you're related to Angelina Jolie
No.
and King Henry V.
I wish.
Okay.
I met my half brother.
Nuh-uh.
Yeah, because this is
Does he go like this?
When that was, I learned that from I got that when I wore the stupid Invisalign braces, and it just became a bad habit. No, when my dad got hit by that train and I didn't know who he was and all that stuff.
Oh my
And
God.
so literally went to the funeral. It was like met people I never knew ever before in my entire life. So I was like 31 and met like.
You should tell people that. That's crazy.
Yeah,
Well-
so that was nuts. So like,
the thing about that is, real quick, is that it's hard to meet a bunch of people, especially
In
that
that
has
time.
to be the setting.
Right.
Well, yeah, so that was literally what was like, hey, you know what? Because I've been thinking about looking for my dad, never knew him growing up. And then I made a Facebook post. I was like, hey, does anyone know my dad? And I forget, my godfather had called me and sent me a text message. And he had sent me a text message and he said, hey, have you talked to your Aunt Leslie or your uncle's, I can't remember his name, and so I was like, oh, I have the names now. And so I said, does anyone know anyone related to Leslie and this guy and that whoever that is, if that's my dad. So all these people were starting saying, oh, I know who that is. And so within...
Are you kidding me? This is all through Facebook?
This is all through Facebook. And
Okay.
so this was 2
They
years
should
ago.
charge for this.
So then all these comments from awesome friends of mine on Facebook, because I have one from this job, they started commenting, oh, I know who he is, I know who he is. The reason that my godfather had messaged me that and I didn't know was because something had happened. And all I knew was just the names. And so I didn't know what had happened. So all these people started texting me and said, yeah, I knew him. Did you know what happened? They posted an article. So the week before that, he had been hit by a train in his work truck and ended up passing away. Wow. And so all these people were like messaging me, oh, I know he is. He was a great guy, great guy. And I was like, really? And I was like, I heard quite the opposite story, that he was whatever, you know?
Well, he left you.
And so,
You're a
yeah,
kid.
just didn't know what was going on. And so my mom raised me, and she did a decent job, and she did it by herself.
She did a great job.
Yeah, so I was just like, oh, shoot. And then sure enough, it said he was hit by a train in his work truck out in Greeley. And I was like, oh, my God, he lived out in Greeley that whole time. So through that, I started messaging people and Facebook messaging, and they messaged me back and said, hey, here's the details of the funeral. Here's what's going on, blah, blah, blah. So then I went to it. And I didn't know what to expect, and it was a packed house. And he worked at CenturyLink, so there was tons of CenturyLink vehicles that were out there.
Oh wow!
And then there was family there, and my Aunt Leslie had reached out to me, and I talked to her on the phone, and that was the first time I ever talked to anyone on that side of the family. And they were like, "Oh,
she's his sister."
Yeah, she's his sister. And she's all, "We didn't know what happened to you." She's all, "Your grandma, she would write birthday cards all the time. She even we had a notebook of her that said when your birthday was, and all these things." I was like, "Oh my God!"
Did anybody like especially your brother? Did they look like you? Do you see a similarity?
Yeah.
No. So that's what I was expecting. Well, so I met the side of the family. I was like, oh wow, this is crazy. And so when
were they introducing you as this is
kind of, and so that's exactly what they did. And so when my uncle was giving this speech about my dad, he was going over the whole history of my dad. So I'm sitting there kind of like in like a history.
He's like, oh my God, my chapter's coming up.
Yeah,
right.
Well, no. So he said I had a sister who wasn't related to me that was kind of like a stepsister that he raised, and I knew there was a girl who held me in a baby picture, but I didn't know who she was, and I think that was her. And then had a half brother, and he mentioned everyone's names in there, and so. It all kind of was like a shock and awe. Yeah, I was like, I didn't know how to process it, but it was a packed house. Like,
so he was liked. He had friends.
He was and he wasn't. So there's people that.
Oh yes, you sat on either side. You were mad at him or you loved him.
You were happy he was gone or you're sad.
That's how funerals should go. We should start that. Yeah. So you can go to the funeral of somebody you really didn't like. You're like, I'm on this side.
I'm on this side. Take that.
Right.
Who has the last laugh now?
And both have separate parties after.
Right.
So he had those two sides, I guess. You would say that because there was people that were like, he was a great guy, but then it would follow up, but he could be an asshole.
Okay.
You know, so it was kind of, I was like, I am related to him. I was like,
I can be an asshole.
I was like, I can
You're
be
a good guy
asshole.
that can be a
So,
go ahead and say it.
That's all right. I already know. It's all right. So I heard all these people talk, and everyone was saying different stories, standing up, saying different things, and so. At this point, they were about to play "Hit the Road Again," Willie Nelson's song, and it was going to wrap up. And so then I said,
"You mean On the Road Again?"
On the Road Again.
Okay.
And so I was like, "Well, I'm going to say something." And so I stood up, and I was like, "Hey," I was like, I didn't know anyone or anything about this until last week, and this is my first time ever seeing anyone in this family. I was like, knowing any story of him, I knew nothing about him. It's great to see all these people hearing that he had an impact on that, right? Well, so it was really good, and I got through it, and blah, blah, blah. And
you didn't cry?
I was probably getting a little choked up, but it was hard for me to get choked up for a stranger, I guess.
Totally.
For sure, you don't want to make... Yeah.
But it's like a week away from you looking for him. A week before you looked for him.
Well, and I wanted for months before that, like, because my only connection was my godfather, and I didn't have my godfather's number. And so, literally, when we were at the old station, I was in the production rooms, I would go and I'd look up and try to find his name. And I actually found his name, and I never texted him. And then 4 months after that, that's when I got that news. So I was this close to finding him, right? And so I saw these pictures. He was a badass biker. His name was Lloyd, but they called him Mongo for Mongoloid. And so he was just like this tough biker guy. So all these guys from CenturyLink were there. All these bikers were there. And so I said that. So at the end of the funeral, I'm walking out, and I hope
this ends with you getting his Harley. Or
yeah, totally.
I was hoping that speech that he gave.
Vehicle.
I was hoping the speech he gave ended with
Oh no! Right. It kind of was like that. So at the end of it, all of these, from bikers to like business professional women to just like average people, would come up to me and be like, "Oh my God, that was great what you said." Da 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 da. Like, we're sorry for your loss. Your dad was a good guy, and I was like, kind of just still caught off guard because I just went through meeting these people that like knew about me, and I was trying to learn about him at the same time.
And you had questions like, "Couldn't you have looked harder? Did you try to look? What was the whole problem?"
And my Aunt Leslie made it seem like they did, like they had a birthday cards, at least that side of the day. So then
it's a lot coming at you.
So then you question, well, was it my mom? What was she doing? Maybe she had a reason for it. So you go through all these emotions.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. So I went through all that, but then I met my half brother, and my half brother kind of was like,
he goes, "You have unresolved father issues." He's like, "That explains your relationship with Larry."
He didn't have a good relationship with my dad.
But he knew your dad.
He knew my dad, but so because he knew my dad.
Wait, sorry, this is your half brother.
This is my half brother, so he's younger than me.
Okay.
And so he had a relationship with my dad, but it was really dysfunctional, I guess. And so that was kind of a weird thing, because for him, he was going through it emotionally where it was affecting him, and here I am, some random stranger who stood up and gave some speech. And don't get me wrong, I grew up poor as crap.
Yeah.
Now I kind of established myself, and so I went there dressed up. But I wanted to tell him, "Hey, dude, I'm dysfunction junction too. Like, I'm one of the same. I might have
trailers are us, buddy."
Yeah. The thing is, what you like, the father-son relationship can be strained to the point where it really affected him, and maybe for whatever reason, you kind of didn't have to take that on.
Yeah, and so then I questioned, well, maybe my mom did make the right choice. And so you go through that. But I could tell he was apprehensive. And so I just had this feeling of a little bit of that I had when I would see rich kids in Boulder and I was a poor kid. I got a little bit of that judgment.
From your half-brother?
From him. But I also got a feeling of, listen, you asshole, like you stand up and get the speech. People come up to you and say that they're sorry. I was like, I knew this guy and I've been around him, and so I kind of got that feeling. So I have his number in my phone, but I never reached out to him and never kind of contacted him. But it was kind of a situation where he I don't know if he got the land of my dad or any of that stuff, but he needed that more than I did. I didn't want anything from that.
Yeah, the land of your dad is at 178.
Yeah.
You're already far enough away.
Yeah. So I mean, it was a crazy experience. I mean, I kind of like when I tell people the story about, I finally looked for him and then I found out he was hit by a train.
They think it's a joke. They're like, quit kidding around.
That's why I was like, you have to tell that to our listeners, because it's just crazy.
It's like, and my friends were like, you should write a book about that and everything you've been through. And so literally,
no, you'll only sell books if we somehow get you hit by a train.
Yeah. Then it's complete full circle.
Like, oh my! And Kayla made $18 million off the movie rights.
Isn't it ironic?
Starring Ryan,
Mark Wahlberg,
right? As Wiggins.
Yeah, I'm all right with that. Mark Wahlberg. All right.
Yes, I was going to say Ryan Reynolds.
Yeah, that's a funny one too.
Right. So after these guys come up to, or all these people come up to me,
they got Jonah Hill.
Yeah.
They had to settle for Jonah Hill, but it's the skinny Jonah Hill.
He's a good actor.
It's the skinny
He actually looks pretty good in shape now.
Yeah.
Although you used to be the other guy from Superbad,
McLovin. Yeah, I would say McLovin. Or I would say
that's why you.
The best friend of Jonah Hill would probably play me.
Oh,
not McLovin, but the other kid.
Oh, right.
Whatever.
The other nerd.
Name,
yeah. So at the very end of it, everyone's
George
leaving.
Michael.
Everyone's leaving. George Michael.
That's his name. From Arrested Development. That's the same kid.
Is it?
George Michael.
George Michael. I was like, he's dead. He's not going to play me.
I will be your father figure. Put your tiny hand in mine. I will be your preacher teacher.
Anything you have in mind.
Okay.
Yep. That was so.
Larry saying that to me.
So it's all done. It all ends, and literally, I mean, aside from the 50th Century Link vehicles that were there, if you know him and you're at Century Link, his name was Lloyd, and he was up in Fort Collins. So I kind of am curious if you know him, give me a call or text me. But so 70 bikers all left at the same time, and they all that was part of the procession. Is they all left,
and so a last ride for your dad.
Yeah. They're all, Wiggins, you can ride, bitch.
Yeah,
anybody.
So they
all I got's my old lady's helmet. Sorry about the pink.
Oh yes, just hold on to the back bar, not me.
The bitch bar. That's
the bitch bar. So yeah, they all took off and
into the sunset.
And and then they all went to a bar after that, some biker bar that was in Fort Collins. And at that point, I had just been through. I was emotionally drained, and so I parked.
Biker bars are for strength and fights.
Yeah, well,
you can't be in there all. I'm devastated. You know what I mean? That's the wrong place to be devastated.
It was a.
No, go out in the truck and be devastated.
I grew up ghetto. I grew up hood. I'm proud of where I came from, and going into there, I could see that it's like I would have fit in. It would have been fine, but it was too much to go to that side. So I couldn't go to the biker bar. But then my dad had another side where my family was going to another restaurant to eat, but I couldn't make face and go to either one. And so I basically, my uncle would try to call me and I couldn't answer it. I just was at a point where I was like, man, I just can't do this. So it was a crazy situation.
If you'd like to help Wiggins find a daddy, call 303-728-3420.
So what about now?
Maybe. I thought about texting my half brother or something like that. But
you should have a relationship with him, and because you guys are so close, and it's like you don't have a ton of kin.
Right.
Well, because here's the thing: is I went up to him at the end and said, "Hey, man, I always wanted a half brother, or not half brother. I always wanted a brother, and I didn't know if anyone was out there. So I tried to get that, but it was one of these things, and I know it was emotional for him too. But I just got that feeling of like, yo, you asshole,
right.
like it's like this was my moment.
It's
and,
my dad.
And this is my dad,
well,
and
you,
you weren't even around.
You didn't stand up. I stood up.
Well, I mean, I don't think he would have.
Thing.
He reminded me of Ben. That's the best way to summarize him. Yeah.
Well, then the thing is that it's probably water under the bridge as far as life goes, and you probably can reach out in at least small ways. Is he on social media? Or?
I don't know. I doubt it. I doubt it because when he took my number out in his phone, I was like, oh, that's definitely an old phone. I was like, I know. So maybe he's on social, maybe he's not. But it's my aunt on that side, Leslie. Her daughter's like some model in L.A.
Whoa!
And
you're like, I need to meet this girl.
Her son's like, so I guess my cousins, they're like some investors, and so
he's all, I have cool kin, I swear.
They are out there. They are
people with their own jobs that don't steal. Like I have those people in my family.
He's all, I haven't met them yet, but I'm waiting for their reply.
Yep, that's it. So,
well, hey, we liked hearing your story.
That was,
give a little background to Wiggins' life,
and maybe that's another reason why you should go to Ancestry.com. You might have a half brother out there.
Yeah, and see who I'm related to. Mongoloid.
No, if I did, Mongoloid. Does that explain your unibrow?
Yeah.
No. I think if I did it, it'd be like they'd come back with a swab and they'd be like, for whatever reason, we know you've kissed 6 cousins. Like, the DNA would be like, it's really weird how that matched.
All right.
So that's why I don't do it.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's probably a good call.
Thank you again for sharing with
me. 303-728-3420. Give us a call, give us a text, or a shout out, especially maybe you know my dad.
And now,
invasive, violating, and just disgusting.
It's Celebrity Trash and Bash
with Larry, Kathie, and Wiggins.
Sponsored by the Mike Sawyer Law Firm. Call 303-GOOD-LAW. Here's Kathie J.
Yesterday I told you that since Justin Timberlake is opening or is going to be doing the Super Bowl halftime show to get ready for an album, well, it's been announced. His next album has been announced. It's coming out February 2nd, 2 days before the Super Bowl halftime show. The album's called Man of the Woods. He shared the cover art.
Yeah, I saw some clip from some music video, and he's got a beard, and he's kind of like rocking some leather, and he's with, you see Pharrell, so he's working with him.
So with the beard, does he look like a man of the woods?
Yeah, he definitely doesn't look like a pop star. He looks like a man, a rugged man.
Right. The trailer with the cover art doesn't feature music. It just has Justin talking about how his music is personal and was inspired by nature and family.
Right, and it showed him a picture of him holding his kid.
And he's going back to his Tennessee roots in the album.
And the other members of NSYNC are like, so, reunion? Get back together?
You doing that? You doing that?
They probably ask him every 6 months.
I have it right here.
Okay.
I don't know. Introducing Man in the Woods.
Just shots of
this
nature.
album is really inspired by my son, my wife, my family, but more so than any other album I've ever written, where I'm from. And it's personal.
Horses.
He's all, I find being rich gives me the freedom to write whatever I want.
He's in the river. I Okay.
Feels like mountains, trees, campfires.
He's so sexy.
Like Wild West, but now.
I try to forget that I dated Cameron Diaz and Britney Spears for a really long time.
It feels so earthy. It's just where you are in your life right now. That is a smash.
Pharrell.
Man in the Woods.
Yeah, I think it's cool. His wife, Jessica Biel, has heard the new stuff, and she says that it's an opus of epic proportions. And she said, so proud. My man is so good.
So that explains why he married a Boulder girl, because Jessica Biel's from Boulder. So
Totally.
he's kind of a Colorado.
She's an outdoor
Well,
chick.
yeah,
Right.
she said that she used to have pictures of him in her room.
She did?
As NSYNC, yeah.
Well,
I'm sure he had pictures of her. Well, he probably not.
Maybe on a
Whatever,
tour
Seventh-
bus.
he
Seventh
probably was
Heaven.
still attracted to her. I mean,
Yeah.
everybody knew she had a great body.
Right, he probably
before
never saw her show once.
No,
Yeah.
right.
She's been working. You know what I mean?
Right.
Do you think that guy, that creepy dad from Seventh Heaven, he definitely tried to, because he was that pervy guy who tried to talk to little girls. I could see him trying to talk to Jessica Biel or trying to be all creepy like that.
Oh, yeah. Didn't he, like, admit it, and then it's, like, something like that?
He talked. He did to some girl and like exposed himself to some girl, and his whole career and all that ended right after. I mean, he was probably the first Weinstein, really.
Right.
But, like,
He's all, I was ahead of the curve.
yeah.
You don't want to be in that group,
Right.
buddy.
But so yeah.
The Weeknd, Beyonce, and Eminem are going to be headlining Coachella.
So she's doing a make good because she had to bail because she was pregnant last
Exactly,
year.
yeah. So Beyonce announced she'd be there.
She's all, because I kept the $22 million.
Yeah, right.
I'll be back next year.
And the rest of the lineup got unveiled yesterday. It is happening over 2 weekends, identical lineups for both weekends, April 13th to the 15th. The second weekend is April
You know what,
20th to the
Kathie?
22nd. What?
As God is my witness, you and I are going to Coachella.
Man.
You
See, you know I have a problem with Coachella.
I know, because all the cool kids go.
Because
but we're
it's
gonna
only
be the cool
for the rich kids, and the
I
rich
know.
kids get to experience the best crap ever on stage.
Listen, we're going to wear cutoff shorts.
Yeah, I know. With
long vests.
Fringe.
You
Yeah,
guys
there
already
go.
have that on.
Bohemian.
You're already
Yeah,
wearing
exactly.
that.
Right,
Uggs.
right.
Yeah.
So the weekend's going to close out Friday nights. Beyonce's the last act on both Saturdays. Eminem
You know that
wraps up
causes
the weekend.
so much confusion for these bookers.
The weekend.
So the weekend is wrapping
Right.
up on the weekend. No,
Right.
it's doing
No,
that
it's
on
Friday
Thursday.
night.
Right, but no, it's the weekend. No, it's no, that's not right. That's not right. So many paperwork gets misshuffled.
Exactly. Mike Tyson, did you hear what he's up to?
Uh-oh.
Smart man.
Oh, okay.
I love Mike Tyson.
Yeah, he's actually really deep and he's funny.
Right, exactly. And I feel bad that he was screwed out of all that money.
Oh no, for sure. But he was at one
and
time
he
like
wasted a lot of money. And
he
he was
was
a
He
jerk.
was a POS
mean
man. He was a
Terminator.
convicted felon.
Well, no, for sure, and he was
He
like
hit
a girl
women.
beater.
Yeah.
He was
So-
accused of rape,
But
or he
like
did
he's
rape
come,
a girl.
he seemed to have come full circle. If you saw any of the documentaries on him, or like they did something on HBO,
You know that he cares.
right? And he was really like kind of a victim of his situation, and that doesn't justify what he did.
But he's not the
he
smartest
seems
dude.
right? And he seems very remorseful of his past.
Right. Well, he hasn't had a lot of money, if you know anything about Mike Tyson. He's been down, like he has some.
I didn't know, yeah, I just
But it's
know.
not the crazy money that Mike Tyson used to have.
Right, because boxers don't get like royalties on their fight or anything like that. It's just like, you just blew all that money.
Right.
Right.
Well, late last month, Mike Tyson broke ground on a 40-acre pot farm in California City.
Hell yeah.
100 miles north of Los Angeles. He claims it'll revolutionize the industry. Half of the land's going to be used to grow pot. The other half will have a supply store, an extraction facility, a factory for edibles, a pot growing school, a campground for glamping. So he's going to have a
That's
whole area where you
cool.
can go and enjoy
be on
the
property,
weed.
right.
And he's even going to have a small amphitheater for concerts.
That's hilarious.
brilliant.
You can watch his stand up. He's like, I'm
Yeah,
there
he
for
did
5
stand
nights a
up,
week.
Right. He says the goal is to grow high-grade cannabis, including medical, that helps with things like inflammation, doesn't get you high, though. And this isn't the first time his weed smoking's been in the news. In 2013, in the memoir, he said he used to smoke before the boxing matches.
Well, he did a lot of things. They said he did coke, too.
Yeah, no, for sure.
There's
Right.
some people that the pot for them is their coffee. So it'd be like not giving them their pot and telling them to go to work. It's going to be a nightmare.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
So you're saying he should have fought without
Well, no.
smoking and then been like, I need a smoke.
Right.
Right after.
Well, that
I
explains.
mean, but he killed people. I mean,
Right.
not literally, but his his punch was crazy. Imagine if he wasn't stoned.
That's why he bit that guy's ear off. He was hungry.
Right, totally. It looked so good.
Bloody.
Well, wouldn't you love to just be hanging out, getting in line for your coffee, and all of a sudden, this sexy man gets off his motorcycle, walks up to you, and says, "Hi,
I'm Ellen."
I'm William. No, not Ellen.
William.
Side note, did you see Ellen's new show last night?
Yeah, the game show?
It's funny.
Hilarious.
She's going to get another award for another show. Like, that's a great show to watch. No, I'm talking about William Bradley Pitt.
Brad Pitt?
Brad Pitt was picking up some chick in line at a coffee shop and used the name William, and she said, "Oh, really? You look more like a Bradley to me." And he smiled at her and said, "Well, Bradley's my middle name."
Whoa.
I know. How sexy is that?
So did she get on the bike and they rode away?
She didn't.
I was hoping that was where that was going.
But she looked like a Kate Bosworth, the cute little blonde. The surfer movies.
Right.
Yeah, so he arrived by motorcycle wearing sunglasses, jeans, and a leather jacket. Already there, I'm sold. If Brad Pitt in that
without a bodyguard.
Oh, so sexy. Pitt then struck up a conversation with the blonde in line, and that's when the woman said, "Hi, I'm Lydia."
So you want to be in movies?
She was giggling and stuff, and then he put out his hand and said, "Hi, I'm William." And that's when she said, "You look like a Bradley." And he responded, "That's my middle name," and smiled and winked at her. Then when Lydia was leaving the coffee shop, the witness says that she said, "Nice to meet you, Bradley. I mean, William." And then he laughed to himself, got his coffee, went out and got on his bike.
He's like, "Would you like to get on the back of my Harvey?" My Harvey.
Harvey, yeah.
Yeah, he has to be dating. I mean, like, he's a good catch. He's still Brad Pitt.
Right.
Angelina's probably getting laid.
I don't know
they
if
do
she is.
Yeah, she's probably one of
I
those
don't know
women
if
who's
she
like,
is.
"I've turned it off down there."
She should have never, like, I hate it when these women go Hollywood and then they like starve themselves, because she was
so fine.
when she was a gorgeous girl, she was normal looking.
When she was with
Billy Bob Thornton,
she was like sizzling.
Yeah.
Then they look like they're like dying from within, like they're like being sucked dry.
That's the whole
Unhappy.
life out there.
Yeah.
They say, I had a friend that moved there and tried to break that business, and he's like, "People don't eat
No,
here." He's
they
like,
don't.
"People don't make dates to go, let's go to lunch and eat."
What
He's
do
like,
they do?
They don't eat.
Well, what do you do for a
You
date?
go and have, like, coffee or tea.
Yeah, for sure. You just don't eat. And if you watch the Kardashians, all they eat is salad.
Salad. All the time.
That's all they eat.
Like, to the point where I'm like, it still can't taste as good as you're making it look. Like, it's this 14th salad I've seen you eat today.
Yeah, I love that Chloe. They're just so committed to working out. It's just insane.
Yeah, I hate it.
Yeah,
well,
I
you
know.
know what? If you had nothing to do and it was your money,
No, you watch the show,
totally
and
would.
that's what
They
the show
That's
is.
why they're so out of touch with real people. None of us have the time to do working out because we're trying to pay bills.
Right, and their whole show is turned into, "This is us hanging around until we work out.
Yeah.
And then we're going to go eat."
And then it's a lot of, I had my makeup professionally done to sit here on my couch
Right.
in my outside by the pool.
And I'm going to play with my hair the whole time.
So you watch it.
Yeah, so do you. There's a new episode on.
I'm not like that. Like, I'm definitely episodes behind. If I happen to land on it, I'll see what it is, and then I keep moving.
The new episode, they gave Rob those same swings on his porch, and he breaks his.
No, you're kidding.
No, I'm kidding.
Oh, okay. I'm the same.
Rob's like,
Hey, Mom. Speaking of the Kardashians, Scott Disick, they're saying that he has some sort of liver disease.
no doubt from all
all
that
the
drinking.
Wow.
Mm-hmm.
When I look
He had
at
a
him,
problem before they highlighted it. He was an alky.
Totally.
when I look at, there's sometimes I look at pictures of him and Sophia Richie, and I'm like, okay, that's a cute couple. And then there's other pictures I see of her, and I'm like, you look younger than Selena Gomez.
Totally.
She looks like a baby, and sometimes she looks like a boy. She looks like Justin Bieber. It's like, but sometimes she looks severely hot.
No, for sure.
Right.
Definitely.
Yeah.
Right. And there's your trash and bash. Coming up, we have to read this text that came in. Kind of a similar situation like you have, Wiggins.
Okay.
On
And
the
then
biological dad.
I also think just now on Fox 31 that they announced the DIA person.
The actual winner?
They were talking about it just now. So
so we probably didn't get it. They would have probably let us know.
Yeah, I think
way
they
to break
would've-
our heart
yeah,
live on the air.
I hate you.
What a jerk.
I could be wrong. I could be wrong. We'll find out here in a little bit.
Blazin' Hit Radio.
I love that morning show.
Now with more us.
They wake me up.
Better music, less commercials, more Larry and Kathie.
In the morning, in the shower.
Oh, we can see you in the shower.
Grandpa.
Oh.
Okay, so I told you there was a text coming in about
Wiggins'
they have
story.
a similar biological father story.
Right, because Wig, if you missed it, he talked about being days within meeting his dad, but his dad got hit by a train, and so he didn't get to meet him, but he did get to meet.
I'd say weeks, probably. Like I was on the hunt, and then when I actually found out who and where he was and all that, then I found out. Oh well,
he died last week.
Yeah, 2 days ago he got hit by a train.
It was 2 days.
Yeah, it was 2 days before that, and then what's crazy is it was an article online about it. So I didn't just oh hey, this is what happened. I literally read the whole article that was in the Denver Post.
That's crazy.
No, I remember you sent it to us, and you said, "Hey guys, I found my dad."
Yeah,
and it was like, "Oh my
How
god!"
Sad. Yeah, that was probably the worst text. Hey, oh, you did? Oh,
that's what I was excited. I was like,
it should have been warning.
Warning.
Read the whole text.
This ends badly.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. Okay, so the text says, "I wish I could call in. I too have a biological father story. He left when I was 2, and my mom was pregnant with my sister. He only called 2 times and sent my mom $50, and then we never heard from him again.
Whoa.
When I was 8, my mom met who I call my dad now. After they got married, he asked my sister and I if we would want him to adopt us. We thought it was great. We liked him, and now we would have our dad. So we did all the legal things needed. They even had to place an ad in the newspaper announcing that he wanted to adopt us. So if our biological dad wanted to protest it, he could."
Right, and so it's like a legal thing. But have you seen some of those videos where they tell the dad, "Hey, I'm your kid now"?
Yeah,
those are awesome.
No, those are like the
Tear-jerking,
best,
right?
Or when the one kid, when he asked him to be his dad, right?
Yeah, that's
Will you
cool.
adopt me? And it was the papers,
right.
in the box.
Oh,
that
my
was awesome.
my friends did that, and it was so amazing. They did it during. It was
Like,
either
I'm
during
gonna cry
the
just thinking about it. Oh my god, it's so awesome.
My friend Michael, Carissa had two kids. Michael raised those kids as if they were his own for years, and then they got married. And as the wedding gift, he didn't know it, got the legal forms to become the guardian of those kids, and it was the most amazing thing.
They're like, "You're the father, and you owe $800,000. I signed what?
Yeah, there's that.
Right.
Yeah.
So anyways, it ended really good for her, and he adopted them, and they had more kids together and stuff. And she just wants to say, Wiggins, just however your life turns out, it was for a reason.
Yeah, I
and be
appreciate
happy.
that. Yeah, and Tasha, who's been a listener for
We
years,
love you,
and
Tasha.
always the girl when I was a producer, that'd be like, "Hold on, Tasha, thank you for your comments as well," and everyone that texted in and gave your love and appreciation. I think now I've kind of moved past it. I'm not so emotionally.
No, for sure. It was you went through it the way you were supposed to go through it, and now it's like you're gonna have your own kids, so it's kind of just circle of life.
Well, your grandpa was hit by a train, Like,
yeah, that's crazy.
Right, but you should beef up the story and be like, "And there he was riding with the other cowboys to rob that train."
Yeah.
There's another one on the text line. I met my biological dad when I turned 18. Now I know why my mom left him. Leave it right there, Wig.
Oh, okay.
Anyways, he hated who I considered my dad, and he did and I thought, "You jerk, he did what you couldn't do." So I haven't talked to him since.
Exactly.
Yeah.
The one that's around is the dad.
Yeah, exactly.
The one that
dad
contributes, that's there for you when you fall, and there to pick you up.
guides you.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So yeah, I don't know. It's I'm happy
Can
with
you
the way
play
things
George
are
Michael's father figure? I see it's only appropriate. I'm kidding.
I was like, I'll Google
Why
it if
don't
you
you
really
just
want me
sing
to
it,
pull
Larry?
it up.
No,
Yeah.
because that'd be weird if I was singing it to Wiggins and he starts crying.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
That'd be
Put your
uber.
tiny hand in mine.
But I will say this: your new dad, through Caleb,
Bob, yeah.
Bob is one of the coolest dads,
No.
men, people
For sure.
ever.
Oh,
He's
no,
just
he's
like-
amazing.
Yeah, he's just like my dad. And plus you have a cool uncle. I mean, her uncle is kind of
Yep.
like another dad
Totally.
for you.
Yep,
Right.
yep. No, he's like Robert De Niro, and
He
I'm
totally
Ben
is.
Affleck. Because he looks like Robert De Niro, but the relationship is one to where he's like, "I'm the cool guy,
Yeah.
out myself
Right, and you're
together
the
guy."
spastic
Yeah,
idiot being
yeah,
filmed and you didn't know it.
yeah, yeah.
Do you see me? Do you see what I'm doing?
Right.
Oh no,
You're the one that made the toilet run and then it overflowed.
Ron
and
has-
then Winksy got out or whatever.
Yeah, with the
Jinxie.
Jinxie. I got nipples. Fokker, you want to milk me? So, Ron and Lisa, they have these awesome Christmas parties every year.
Yeah.
So they had a Christmas party, and Ron always dresses up and just has like the flyest suits or the flyest jacket or the flyest blazer,
He's
like just
cool.
always. And so this year though, he had the Saturday Night Fever, like it looked like John Travolta. It was a modern jacket, but
right.
it's
The
all
white
white.
tuck. I
So
like that.
of course I was all drunk on yellow. So hey, you look like Saturday Night Fever.
Oh,
Was
God.
a little bit too buzzed. It just kept
Right.
going on. and
That's
on
where he
with that
lost
joke.
him.
Yeah.
That's why he hasn't been invited over.
He's like, listen, Fokker.
He kept telling you to move along.
Yeah, move along, move along. So, 303-728-3420. We appreciate your calls and your texts. If you want to hit us up, you can do it right now. You can also send us a shout out from within the app. Let's go a little reggae right now. We'll be right back here in a few minutes.
From the Mile High. Blazin' Hit Radio. Now worldwide.
Worldwide. Shout out to everybody listening
Yes.
in parts of the country, in Seattle, Tucson, St. Louis,
San Francisco.
Yeah, we love you guys.
Hey, the number 2 most listened to spot, Detroit.
Yeah.
Yeah,
That's
and then
right.
Chicago.
Oh my God, I might leave my husband for Eminem.
Yeah.
Speaking
Oh my
of
God.
Detroit.
Yeah, I think you'd be going to Detroit looking for something else. Trouble.
No, I honestly feel that if Eminem ever saw me and knew my cool personality, he'd want to hang with me.
Oh my God, he would totally trash you in a rap. So, this girl is talking to me. She doesn't make any sense.
No, he'd get me. He would be the one person that would get me.
Listen, you're lucky one guy got you, and then now you have a couple kids. So just chill out.
I am. I love you, Mr. Efficient.
Okay, so I hate to beat a dead horse here, but
You can talk about vegetarian again.
no.
Okay.
Yeah, plant-based.
Plant-based. No, I'm eating like the best like breakfast burrito that's tofu, which is really amazing.
Okay.
But I just yesterday, Kathie took a leap, and I made her a sandwich.
Yes.
And she ate it, and she said it was awesome.
Okay, can I just say, I mean, I'm sure that stuff's expensive.
No, it's not.
It's not, well, I don't know. We'll have to see what our
It's the
level...
same. It's the same amount. Like it's basically, I gave Kathie a bologna
A
sandwich.
bologna sandwich. Okay, so Wiggins, you're a white trash kid. I'm a white trash kid. Bologna, is amazing, but you can't have it because you're always told it is the worst of the worst. But
Right.
to me, I love the taste of bologna and mustard.
Right.
Man.
you-
with some cheese in it.
For years, we were told, that's the worst lunch meat you could eat. It's got nitrates, so
If you do anything, don't do bologna.
Right, and then you thought, oh, well, then I'll eat turkey. That's definitely healthy, even though it's just as bad for you. They say that they should have warnings on lunch meat the same as cigarettes.
You know what? Somewhere they were thinking of doing that. I don't remember, but there was a city or something that's thinking
Right.
of doing that. But back to Wiggins. Don't you love bologna?
I used to eat the red stuff around it.
Okay, that's the paper.
That's why.
But wait,
that's
no.
why he is how he is.
That's the paper.
Lead chip paint eater.
So I would.
He also eats the outside of a Baby Bell. He's like, that was chewy.
Oh my God, Wiggins.
So
His turds are covered in wax, red wax.
They come out compressed
Right.
in the wax.
Exactly. You'd have to open it to get the turd out, but why would you?
But why would you? It's
Right.
the perfect plumbing system.
Right, it's like sealed.
It's probably why I don't go regularly. It's all wrapped.
It's all right.
internally.
You have strings ripping
you're not
apart your
supposed to
intestines.
eat the
So
Okay, so
I would
anyways.
get the church. We would get the church donation foods or the food bank at
Yeah.
churches, right? And so we'd always have the cheap meat and the botulism cans that were all dented. And so when we would have the nice meat that had the red around it, I just thought it was oh, this is fancy meat. And
Oh, my little baby.
so
Wiggins.
I would eat it, but then I would be like, why is it so hard to eat?
That's like somebody who accidentally puts a Velveeta slice on their burger without taking the
Right, with
plastic
the wrapper
off.
still
Girl,
on it.
What is
right.
happening here?
Right. Although this person thought, obviously that wrapper is fancy.
Yeah.
That makes the cheese better.
Trailer park?
Right. Anyway,
so,
here's the thing.
Wow.
They have a fake bologna. It's made of soy or tofu.
Right.
Depends. And So they've replicated bologna. And then they've also replicated the pre-wrapped cheese slice.
Was that cheese fake?
Yeah.
It was?
Yeah, that wasn't real cheese either.
What? Okay, so it was a bomb sandwich but I was thinking, well, obviously it's the real cheese that's making this bologna taste so good. But it was heaven. Like while I was eating it, I was like, I could have bologna every day.
And you know what? You know what made the sandwich even better?
What?
Cutting it diagonally.
It was like I just came out of a lunchbox.
And then
it was so awesome. No, the crusts were on.
I made Kathie a sandwich because she says she's hungry. I put some chips on the plate. I walked past and Chris is like, "Are you somebody's mom?"
He did.
And I was like, "Well, I'm just taking care of Kathie." So, thus proving you can become plant-based and still enjoy things like that are meat-like.
I was shocked.
Okay.
I was shocked.
And I gave her a bite of my chicken pesto pasta.
And that was pretty damn good.
And it's not real chicken. It's made by the Tofurky people.
What is the meat-like product?
I see what you're saying. Okay,
that's what I'm saying. It's soy, or it's made like the Tofurky people. It's made with tofu, which is soy.
Okay.
So they can replicate some really good meats. Last night I had a Beyond Meat burger, which is actually made of plants. It's a plant-based burger. Okay, but check this out. It's like it grills and it even stays pink in the middle.
You took a picture of your food?
Yeah, of course.
He's pulling out his iPad.
No, I know. And why isn't it not opening? Don't you hate when your stupid things...
You better back it up, dude.
I don't know why you're hitting on me on the air.
No,
okay, so wait a minute. Listen.
He lost all stuff on the iPad 2-3 years ago.
No, that was because Avery's fault.
Yeah, but he doesn't learn.
No,
you could have backed it up.
Backed it up.
Okay, look at that burger.
Looks delicious. Looks good.
Right. So that's a Beyond Meat burger, and so it's really made of plants, and because it stays pink in the middle.
Yeah.
So it looks like meat. So when you bite into it, it tastes like meat. It's.
See, I think we all want to be healthier, you know. And if you're I never put plants in my body, so it would be nice to be putting them in and me not know it.
You know.
So you know.
Right. It's like how they like put vegetables in spaghetti sauce for kids.
Right. Like
to trick
the
them.
cauliflower.
Right. Like healthy Julie.
Right. Squash.
So you have to you'll only eat it as long as you don't know that.
No, it's just for some reason. I like I said, I'm white trash. Like I didn't have the best examples, so it's hard to focus on the other. But you need to if you want to survive.
Well, and I'll tell you this: with it's proof positive. There's no debating this. Plant-based diet can reverse heart disease and people that have diabetes.
See, and that right there, if you have diabetes,
that tells you everything you need to know right there.
Yeah.
Because I don't like pills.
Right.
I used to. I mean, don't get me
I
wrong.
remember that.
No,
Kathy
she likes a little Oxycontin.
Kathy, no, it's the Vicodin.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, but I used.
See, that sounded like she missed it, like she missed
Black eyes. Right, exactly.
That was another Kathy, and I miss her.
I don't care what they say about me.
And now,
I go dumb, I go stupid, I get crazy. Come on and clap.
It's Kathy J's Stupid News.
A guy's obituary blames his death on the hopeless condition of the Cleveland Browns. That's funny. An 80-year-old guy named Paul from Ohio died last week, and in his obituary, the cause of death was literally said, quote, a brief illness exacerbated by the hopeless condition of the Cleveland Browns.
That's cold-blooded.
If he'd made it to Sunday, they wouldn't have given him the faith to pull through. The Browns lost their final game of the season. 0-16 record for the Browns, if y'all didn't know.
So was that a funny family, or was that
2 years in a row?
Was that his wishes, this guy, or was it funny family?
I don't know anything about that, right. But I think that the family would have known and couldn't have to put it in. The Cleveland Browns, 1-31 over the past 2 years.
Hey, at least a couple times a day I take a Cleveland Brown.
Yeah,
is that when Chris comes in there and says, honey?
What is he talking to me on the other side of the door?
Larry I will mess with Larry because sometimes he'll do that here, and I'll be like, Larry, what are you doing in there? He really gets mad. That's one time he really gets mad.
And if you try to talk to me while I'm drinking water, that's a boundary for me.
Right, because remember his dad, that whole story. Remember that?
Oh, that's right.
You don't
and now Chris makes it a thing
when they're drinking water.
Yeah, when I'm drinking water now, Chris's thing is to do Cirque du Soleil around me while I'm drinking water.
A lady was hospitalized on Christmas Eve after she binge ate tamales.
Whoa, that's delicious.
25-year-old lady in Mexico.
How many tamales?
25. Oh, wait, I'm sorry. Let me see. It doesn't say, but she got a little carried away with with eating the tamales on Christmas.
Right, because that's cornmeal, and it's going to probably expand in your stomach.
I'm sorry, it was 20. She ate 20 tamales in one night.
Ugh, she's fat.
That is... It's 20 tamales.
No normal person would eat 20. Like, he'd stop at like 3. Maybe 4.
I can't.
Your total fat ass.
I can
only eat 1. It's like eating corn nuts. It's just all dry and just like...
Yeah, but if they're made right, like if they're made with the right, because the good ones have like red chili and cheese,
right, exactly.
or green chili and cheese.
Totally,
at
those
least.
ones are delicious.
Right.
Well, she wound up getting rushed to the hospital with food poisoning, not because the food was bad, but
it was the bad masa.
No, not because the food was bad. It was due to the amount of food that she ate.
So in other words, she like split her stomach open.
Kind
or
of, something
right.
like that. Isn't that crazy? She recovered. She's okay.
She took the best juicer ever.
Okay.
It was like 20 minutes.
I'm sure it was an induced juicer.
Right. She was in stirrups. She had to get a spinal tap.
And finally, a couple gets arrested for getting it on in a booth at a restaurant. You know, they always say table or booth. I mean, most people choose the booth.
Right.
These people really wanted the booth.
Sometimes people do sit next to each other as a couple. Mm-hmm. Like I just recently, you sit on the same side of the table.
Yeah, I don't
get that. Is that what they were doing?
Okay,
No.
have you seen, and this is a little different, but I noticed this, especially when we were at Rock Bottom, and that's funny a listener said that. There were 2 people older people sitting in front of us. And I've seen this a few times. They're about in their 50s. They hate each other, and so you can tell they're married, but they don't. They don't say anything.
A word. I love to do that. My husband and I, everywhere we sit down, we always look for that couple. We're like, let's look around and see who's just in the motion, but they can't stand each other. There they are. You always spot that couple.
Sometimes, if the kids aren't little. You know, little kids are fidgety anyway, but sometimes you can spot a whole family that doesn't say a word to each other.
It's kind of crazy.
And you're like, whoa, there's no ribbing, no jokes, let me try yours. You know what I mean?
Right. A 31-year-old guy named Jonathan and his 28-year-old girlfriend, LaShonda, they were at a restaurant in Austin Saturday, and the mood struck. So while they were waiting for their food, LaShonda started performing on Jonathan right there in the booth. I mean, the restaurant was full.
So she had to be on the same side.
She had to be on the same.
Right.
Well,
or
I don't
under
know.
the table, maybe under the table.
Lots of other people in the restaurant, kids. So of course, some people called the cops. They got arrested for misdemeanor, public lewdness, looking at a maximum sentence of a year in jail and a $4,000 fine. And their photos.
They're not good looking.
I mean, she's smiling. I mean,
she got hers.
She's kind of like, she's got some sort of weird grin on. Like,
yeah, because she doesn't know she's a registered sex offender yet.
Oh, yeah,
seriously,
true.
That was 20 minutes later.
Right. I mean, he looks bald. He's bald with an unkept beard. He's lucky to have been gotten any.
Right.
Yeah.
And it was almost there. He was like, damn it.
No.
Can I get you guys some more coffee?